You're in the fast lane, broadcasting live from E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
Another big hit in the middle of the ice as Buchnevich comes away with a loose puck. He'll skate in on a partial break. Takes the shot, scores! Fowler will lob it into the neutral zone. Kyrou gets a breakaway. He skates and shot, scores! Jordan Kyrou with the outlet pass from Cam Fowler. Koivunen, 26 seconds to play. He'll skate on. McGrody in front, they score! McGrody circles around Joel Hofer, takes the shot, beats him 5-hole up at the blue line. Kyrou skates in, drops it off to Thomas. Thomas takes the shot, he scores! Robert Thomas, the overtime winner, as the Blues flood the ice to tie a franchise record for 11 consecutive wins.
Let's get nasty on a Friday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. We're live at Centene Community Ice Center. Carey Davis is already having some issues. His computer volume was up.
From Doty over there. I'm like, what is Doty doing?
Marsh is like, hey,
Marsh lost it.
Got something going on here.
Well, I'm hearing it like hey, what is going on here?
I heard it too.
Marshy lost it. Hey, somebody's computer. Turn it off!
Marsh
That's because I care. Sorry.
All right, we're live at the Centene Community Ice Center for the Puck Cancer second shift. It's the Alumni game tonight between the Blues alumni, including our very own Jamie Rivers, versus the Blackhawks alumni. And it should be a great night and a great event and certainly a worthy cause. But we start off, you heard some of the highlights from last night's game. Alex Ferrario on the call. Great calls by Alex, subbing for Chris Kerber on the Blues radio network. And the Blues tie a franchise record with their 11th consecutive victory. Wasn't always easy, but they got it done in overtime when Robert Thomas scored a power play goal in OT. What a sensational game for Robert Thomas. But Jamie, really, this offense, they have averaged just over 4 goals per game. So I think it's 4.2 goals per game during this 11-game win streak. Has something been unlocked from a scheme standpoint? Is it the individuals just coming together? Is it more cohesion? If you were to pinpoint what has led to this Blues success offensively, what would it be?
It probably starts with the forecheck and the defending. Quite honestly, I mean, when you got a team that's willing to defend and forecheck the way the Blues have been, you get the puck back quicker. We've talked about that for a couple of years now. The better you play defense, the quicker you play offense. And I feel like that's kind of what's happened here for the Blues. And yeah, they're getting lots of bodies to the net. They're playing the game the right way. And they've got guys who can finish. And I think that's the one thing that we lacked last year in particular was if the first line didn't score, the Blues were going to struggle offensively. And I think we thought a lot of that early in the season here. But then Kyrou, Holloway, and Schenn caught fire. And Thomas and Buchnevich kind of cooled off a little bit, and we were still inconsistent at that point. Well, since both top six players up front have been able to produce, you're scoring goals. Mm-hmm. And you're getting a lot of offense from your blue line, too. I think that's what people forget. I think the Blues are 3rd or 4th in the league in goals scored by their defensemen. And we're seeing it on a nightly basis to where the D are part of the offense. They're jumping in the play. They're keeping pucks alive. And whether they score themselves or they keep the play alive and the Blues score 20, 30 seconds later, that matters. So for me, it's just a 5-man unit out there that everybody knows exactly where their teammates are going to be. They know exactly what their options are, and they're fine in the back of the net.
Can I make one request?
Oh, you can, sure.
It's I think I speak for all of Blues Nation.
Oh boy, you better be careful with that one.
No, I think I do.
Wow.
Nah, we love the win streak. We love that you're winning games. Can you stop giving up goals at the end of periods?
Why?
With
Look how
like 30
exciting it
seconds
was.
left. I don't think we need to give up those goals.
But how fired up were you?
Yeah,
when
not really.
When they won.
Well, not when they gave up the goal.
But when they won.
Yeah, clear it. The Clear It camp is available through Synergy Hockey.
They
We're
cleared
working
it too
on
far.
No, my gosh, darn it.
Yeah, you need the Cam Fowler, friendly
that
flipper.
was beautiful.
That was nice.
That was good.
Unbelievable.
You were talking about that yesterday, how he does flip it out of the zone, and it was like a pass. It was like a go route to a wide receiver and nobody behind and go and score.
I couldn't believe it was onside, too.
I did, yeah. I was
like, oh my
surprised
goodness.
by that as well.
There was a couple of unbelievable plays. Jamie, you had broken down Robert Thomas on the assist. So not the goal, but the assist that he had. And you had mentioned that a lot of times players will try to lift, try to maybe backhand it.
I would have tried to hammer a backhand through the goalie there.
Because it was a tough spot. Like, you're close, but you're actually too close at that point. And Robert Thomas, maybe another player, like you said, you try to backhand it, and all you do is just jamming the puck right into the goalie's stomach.
Burying it into his gut.
But Robert Thomas calmly controls the puck and then feeds it to, who was it on that one? Is that Neighbors?
Yeah.
Feeds it to Neighbors, and Neighbors, goes top shelf with it. Some of the passing has been outstanding. I know that you got to put in the work in the offensive zone so that you can get the puck back and create those chances. But the decision-making has been excellent.
That wasn't even the best pass that he had last night. He had a backhanded feed, backdoor, that went just off of, I believe it was Pavel Buchnevich's stick.
Yep.
That was almost
That was
another
beautiful.
goal. That was probably the most impressive pass that I've seen in quite some time, at least from Robert Thomas. And he makes at least one of those every game.
He's locked in right now. I also thought last night's game, guys, was kind of a reminder to fans and to us here in the media, and we're fans as well. Just calm down every once in a while. Like Robert Thomas, another great game. Buchnevich scores. Jake Neighbors had a big night. These are players, and I'm not saying during, in the time we were going out on a limb, and Robert Thomas was struggling coming off the injury. He was also showing all sorts of emotions, not the good emotions either. Some of the bad emotions that it almost makes you look like it's about you instead of the team. Now, when you're frustrated, look, you're gonna break sticks. You might have the Gumby shoulders and all that, but when it comes to,
I thought we discussed
there is no
He
shoulders.
doesn't have
We
any.
discussed that.
We're going to have to find another.
But maybe that's the point, though. Maybe that's the point, right?
He doesn't have shoulders.
He doesn't
It just
have-
goes
they
straight
kinda just
down.
hang-
Thank you, Marsh. Yeah.
Come on, I always got you, Anthony.
So you have the no Gumby shoulders going
But
on.
if you don't have shoulders, you can't slump.
There you go.
Still,
But
though,
you kind of wiggly in there.
Yeah.
You don't have.
Yeah.
You don't have a spine.
you got the
either.
Gumby look going on.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
You know?
We tolerate that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So Buchnevich scores. Neighbors big game. Thomas. These are all players that at various times during the year we've been like, need more out of you, or get out. Like the frustration. Marsh never said that. Carey was saying it a lot.
I heard him.
trying to
Marsh
get out.
almost threw you under the bus there after you helped me, but
I thought you said as a whole for a second.
as a
I said
whole,
my name.
Carey.
Okay. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like hey, these guys can play game. Just a reminder, these guys are key contributors for you. It all happened in one game, I felt, where those guys that have been struggling for various reasons all had big moments.
Yeah, and there are some warts on the win last night. And Carey, you're right that the Blues are up by 2 goals in the third period. That should be a given. It should be a lock.
You should have
You're
got to
done.
go up when you had the 5-on-3 as well. You should have been. And I think you mentioned that on air. You said that might come back and bite them in the butt because they didn't score when they had the 5-on-3 and then they had the 4-minute penalty. You didn't get any pucks.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It really was. You got to take advantage of that. You got to. Although it was only 38 seconds on a 5-on-3, as a group, you have to do whatever it takes to win that faceoff. And they lost it clean, and then Pittsburgh shoots it down the ice.
I do want to get your thoughts on the defense and whether or not it's a one-off last night or there's some concerning trends. So hold off on that. We're going to mix
Don't
some
tell me what to do.
Yeah, not
Tell me what to do.
he's
game mode, isn't
Yeah.
it?
He's fired up.
Well-
He grabbed me early and I tussled a little bit. I was like, "Man, what the hell?" He pushed me and grabbed. I was like, hey.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Like
It's kind of good. Hey,
I love it.
Watch out today.
Yeah, but this side of the table is on fire. So I
You two need a second?
yeah, baby.
Got it.
Chris Pronger just walked in. We're gonna talk to him next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
It's time for another moment in Blues history.
On this day back in 2019, the Blues would defeat the Philadelphia Flyers 7-4. It was the second meeting between the Blues and Flyers since Jordan Binnington entered the league, and Blues would put a hurt on. Ivan Barbashev, Ryan O'Reilly, Alex Steen would score the first 3 goals of the game, 3 minutes separated. Then Philadelphia would score. Pat Maroon would get one. David Perron would score also. A total of 7 goals scored scored in that first period. Braden Shen would score in the second, and then Alex Steen's 10th of the year in the third.
This date in Blues history was powered by Classic Air Care, making people comfortable since 1926. For all your HVAC needs, ClassicAirCare.com.
Hey, this baseball season, you can play Underdog Fantasy now in our state of Missouri. Underdog Fantasy, if you haven't tried it out yet, download the app, and then I got a promo code for you that you're going to enjoy to get some bonus credits. But Underdog, it's easy to play. So right now, the Cardinals are playing, and Eric Fetty doesn't look too good. Maybe you take lower on strikeouts. And they got some live action, too, that you can play at Underdog Fantasy. In fact, you could play as low as $1 and win to $1,000 just with your baseball knowledge. So maybe you had a hunch today that Boston would go off or Fetty would struggle, or maybe you like some of the players in the Cardinals lineup that are hot, like Ivan Herrera. Again, just choose higher or lower on stats like home runs, hits, runs, as well. Major League Baseball, hockey plays. Sign up now using my promo code Anthony, so unlock the special offer of $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. Just join in on the fun when you sign up with my promo code Anthony. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus credits instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts, Arizona. Present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7-HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Alex Ferrario for First Community Credit Union. Every day the world changes. Stock market's down, crypto's up, or is it the other way around? One thing is for sure, you want your money to grow, and without that roller coaster ride. Over at First Community, you can earn a steady 4% on a CD with as little as $500 federally insured for your protection. No surprises, no buried treasures, just smart, safe savings with First Community. Check them out today and find the right savings plan for you. First Community for all your savings and all of your loans.
Spring means termites, small menaces that can do big damage to your home. General Pest Services is dedicated to providing you and your family with effective and professional pest solutions. Servicing the St. Louis area for over 20 years, we believe in superior service with no long-term contracts. With General Pest Services Solutions Guarantee, if you're not completely satisfied with our service, we will come back out at no additional charge until you are. For all your pest needs, call today for a free estimate. 314-782-7378 or visit generalpestservices.com.
101 ESPN is your home for Blues hockey. Check out either the 101 mobile app or 101ESPN.com for your chance to win a signed puck autographed by Blues forward Alexei Toropchenko.
Toropchenko, coast to coast, he scored!
Get entered to win that Alexei Toropchenko signed puck right now, either at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
Live from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We are live from the Centene Community Ice Center. We've got a special event tonight, the Puck Cancer second shift. And we were out here last year for the first shift. And it was a great event for a great cause. And somebody that's going to be a part of tonight's festivities, I believe as a coach, is the one and only Chris Pronger. Bronx, how you doing today?
Yeah, it's not my first stint as a coach either. I'm a 1-0 in the National Hockey League.
Nice. Where
the Anaheim Ducks. I was Randy Carlisle got sick one day. I was out with my broken jaw, and Randy Carlisle was sick. Dave Ferris took over as head coach, and I ran the D. I'm 1-0. 1-0.
Well, I'm looking at your alumni roster tonight, which of course includes Rivs. You're pretty stacked. So you got Brian Elliott, you've got Tyson Nash, Andy McDonald, Scottie Upshall, Alexander Steen, Shattenkirk, Paul Stastny, Steve Ott. I don't know. I mean, can you get everybody on the ice tonight?
Well, it's all about matchups. Now, what you
do you have first
neglected to
change?
say was the opposition. We're going to need all those bodies.
Yeah.
They've got a
like
nice
this.
collection on the other side.
You're not overconfident. I like it.
No, but we got a lot of coaches too, so we'll be fine.
Looking at their roster, we could use Twister on our bench tonight.
Yeah, we're going to need a little bit more meat in the lineup.
Chris, I was going to ask you. I talked to Jamie. Jamie has been explaining hockey to me. I sit with him every day, and every now and then he does say some things that I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Okay, good. But he talks to me often about defensive pairing and how a good D-man can help the pairing. Did you ever have anyone that you were paired with that made the game easier for you?
Absolutely. My first year in Hartford, my first D partner, mentor, roommate was Brad McCrimmon. I was a young 18-year-old, and he was a fresh 36 on the back nine of his career. But he was awesome for my career. Taught me a lot about the game, on the ice, off the ice, how to be a true pro, media, practice habits, training habits, all those things that the league was kind of evolving at that time, and guys were coming into camp in shape and all that stuff. So it was a really good learning process, and he was tremendous in my career.
So, Prongs, having played with you and against you, you always played the game at a very intense level. How have you been able to fill that void post-career? Because you can never duplicate it, right? So,
Yeah.
And I know you're a busy guy. I know you got a million things going on. So maybe walk us through some of that.
Yeah, I, when I was done playing, spent about a year and a half getting healthy, working on my eye, concussion issues, etc., and then worked for the National Hockey League, player safety for 3 years. Then I, always thought, well, when I'm done.
How ironic is that? Sorry, keep going.
Accidentally on purpose. And then, always thought I'd want to be a GM or president of a team or what have you, and started going down that path, working with Florida Panthers as a senior advisor to the GM and Dale Talon. And ultimately just, got sick of the working for the man and being told where to go, what to do. And I didn't have to do that. And, kind of had enough and put in my retirement papers and, started doing stuff on my own and being an entrepreneur. My wife had started a travel company. I was helping her with that. Doing some other investments and things along the way. And then most recently, the last couple of years, been building out a speaking platform. Over the years, I'd always been asked to go to different events and speak at different, whether it be galas or, hockey things or what have you, and didn't really feel the calling, if you will, because I was busy doing other stuff. And,
Sure.
And then, just started kind of reflecting back on my career, reflecting on the experiences I had and kind of where other people were at. And, people reach out and talk to you and find out what motivates you, what drives you, what pushed you in those days when I was being booed by my home fans and, all the, ups and downs of a career. Yeah. And I think for me, it was just, a sense of purpose and a way to kind of give back in a sense and really kind of help those that are looking to level up and those that I could impact in kind of understanding my journey in life and how it really kind of mirrors what they're going through and really kind of help people out in that regard.
What's the question, Bronx, that you get more than any other one when you find that you're at these speaking engagements?
A lot of it centers around adversity. A lot of it centers around setting standards for yourself. And, everybody's, whether it's, oh, I'm too old or I don't know when to start, start now. Like you're never too old, you're never too early. Today is the day. And I think a lot of people are hesitant or scared to start.
Yeah.
And you just have to, stack days. As simple as it sounds, people struggle with it, and you stack days. You set standards. You lean into the adversity that you face, and you don't learn by winning. You learn by losing.
Sure.
And you learn by failure, and that's the biggest thing for me.
So Carey and I, Carey 44, I'm 43. What you're saying, Bronx, is there's plenty of time for us
there's
to make
a lot of runway.
hockey.
You didn't let him finish.
Oops. Sorry, no.
We could,
I was supposed to get here early so Jamie could get me on the ice. I've never been on skates.
Carey, I'm sorry. The dream might be over.
Unfortunately, I think hockey's better
Might be past.
learned in your youth.
Okay, all right.
Most adults that want to learn learn how to play.
Yeah.
It's
I hear skating's easy.
Yeah.
super easy. Super easy. Yeah, it's simple out there.
Hey,
Just an easy game, as they say.
Yeah.
It's a simple game. Hey, look, we're here. Obviously, everybody's gathered around. We got Blues Alumni Fantasy Camp and the Puck Cancer game tonight for our guy Chaser. But just, talk about Chaser just a little bit. What he's meant to the community, what he's meant to you, and just, why we show up for these things all the time for our brotherhood.
Yeah. Well, I met Chaser the year I got drafted. I'll tell the story. It was funny. I went to Toronto to skate in this NHL, pre-season, pre-camp event, and there was a collection of players there. I knew Ty Domi from my Peterborough days, and Chaser was there. Herb Ragland. I mean, you got all walks of life were there.
Misfits.
And it's funny. I'm talking to Ty after, and he's like, "You see that guy right there? He's pointing at Chaser." And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Pound for pound, that guy right there is the toughest guy in the league." And I'm like, "What?" Looking at him at the time.
Look at him, yeah.
I'm looking at him. I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm telling you." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, meanwhile, this is Ty, who's 5'9", telling me this, right? And I'm like, and hearing his lore from his days in Peterborough, and then obviously in the National Hockey League, I'm like, okay then. And sure enough, got to play with Chaser my second year pro. He got picked up on waivers by the Hartford Whalers, and got to see firsthand exactly what he was talking about. And just as Rivs alluded to, why we do these things at these events and giving back not only in the communities, but to our brotherhood and those that walk the same path as us. And he's in a fight for his life, and we've had a number of former teammates go through a lot of gut-wrenching things throughout the course of their lives, and it's just another opportunity for us to kind of step up and let him know we're behind him, as he was for us all those years, and make sure that he's sticking with the fight that we know he's up for.
I love the 90s hockey. I know the game has shifted a lot. I love right? It has changed so much. I enjoyed watching.
They fight more now.
Fights.
No, they don't, Anthony.
They stop.
Is he serious?
No.
I hope not.
He's hit his head a few times, so we have to.
You got concussion issues too, huh?
yeah.
We all, yeah.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, we all on this table. When you watch the game now, what do you like about the game now in comparison to then, and what don't you like about it now?
Well, I think when you watch the game, up and down the roster, the talent, the skill, the speed, which at times there's not a disparity like there used to be.
Yeah.
You had that physical element on your fourth line, you had your checking line, the third line, and then you had your top six. Same thing with the defense. And now a fourth line, you look at matchups, really the fourth line can match up against the first line from a speed capacity, but maybe not necessarily skill, but that doesn't matter when you're checking a line and things of that nature. So that drop-off was massive in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And now it's really been compressed. And so it's hard to score, and it's hard to create. And so the game is played so fast. You see a lot of chip and chase. You see a lot of area plays and whatnot, and they just fly into it. You look at the way the power plays have evolved. That guy in the middle, the bumper, and how quickly they move it to figure out who's going to be open for that shot. The Blues power play has been kind of clipping along here, and they use that bumper really, really well. But it creates a lot of opportunity for down low net front plays, point shots with traffic. They really move it around and disperse the puck into the areas that they know are going to be open, watching video and all the video that they do now. And it's relentless.
Yeah.
But it seems to be working.
So, Prongs, let me ask you this. I don't know. I'm sure you've been asked this before, but I'm going to maybe word it a little different.
Please do.
There's no doubt in my mind or anybody's mind that you would have been a dominant player in this era. But how different would your game have had to have been?
Not a whole lot. You evolve. The same. When people say that to me, I'm like, the same thing was said about me in 05, 06, coming out of the lockout, no hooking and holding. The rules were going to be different. This guy's a dinosaur. He's not going to be able to play in the league anymore. And I'm like, if anything, I was better because I didn't have a 250-pounder draped all over me. I didn't have to bang with guys in front of the net and all the rest of that. I was free to, go make transition plays and jump in the attack. I wasn't as tired, so I could now support the attack, not worry about defense so much, and knowing I could have the gas to get back and play defense. So, I think this current generation, I would have to work on my skating a little bit, and hopefully my knees would hold up. But I think if I was healthy, I would have no problem playing in this. You adjust where you can place your stick, how you defend in regards to, maybe I'm not cross-checking in front, but I'm strategically putting my stick on somebody and moving them in a aggressive manner so that they're not standing where they maybe want to.
Jamie tells a story about when he got caught on the ice with Mario Lemieux and the coach was screaming for him, get off, and he couldn't. Have you ever been on the ice where the opposing coach...
He was on the bench for that. He's on the bench for that.
Pronger was also screaming, get off the ice.
Grenville's Joel Grenville's over there. We should get him to come inside. Ollie yelled for 35 seconds, get off, get off. I'm like, I can't. They have the puck.
Unfortunately, I was also in a similar situation with Mario where I was wearing the green jacket. I was -5 that night, and I think he had 2 and 4 for 6 points. It was not pretty.
He's a pretty good player.
Yeah, he's decent. Decent set of mitts.
Big guy.
Among other things.
Played 3,000 games.
Yeah. No, that was Yager.
That was Yager.
Yeah. That was the other good player.
The other oak tree on that lineup.
Prongs, before we let you go, what current Blues? You talked about the power play, and that's humming. I mean, the entire damn team is humming at this point. 11 consecutive victories, ties a franchise record. When this player is on the ice, your eyes gravitate toward that player. Who would that be right now for the current Blues?
I don't know if they have one guy like that. I would argue, just to talk about kind of where they're at right now, I think that Four Nations break really helped a guy like Thomas, A, get healthy, but B, see what he missed. He would have been a guy that potentially could have been on that team, and to see what that tournament did for the game of hockey and Canada, where he's from, and the rivalry with U.S. and Canada, and just the spectacle that it was awesome. But, watching him now kind of take his game to that next level, Holloway, what he's been able to do and how he plays the game, just north-south, physical, take it to the net. I would say a lot of the players since the break have really focused on getting to the net. They're really funneling to the net. The first probably 30 games of the year, they were perimeter, they were on the outside, which is one of the reasons why they struggled.
Sure.
And when they do struggle like they did yesterday in the first period, they were on the outside.
Yeah.
They have to, when they're good, there's traffic in front of the net. They're causing confusion in the offensive zone. They're zipping around. But ultimately, they funnel the puck to the net. And they have traffic, and they've got bodies, and they're fighting for space and pushback, and they're physical in the offensive zone, creating, a little deterrent to the defense, to their opposition, to want to go get loose pucks, to want to go do things. And it's a team identity for them. You look at line 1 through 4, defensemen 6 through 8. They play to their identity now, which is awesome to see.
No doubt.
And 2 goalies that both handle the puck really well, as Rivs can speak to. When you have a goalie that can play the puck the way both Binnington and Hofer can, it takes a lot of pressure off the defense. You don't have to go back and pick your face off the glass every time. You can now go off into the corner near the hash marks.
You're part of the offense now.
The transition starts from the goalie. You're the secondary part of that, and it just makes the game much easier. You get out of your own end faster, and you get on the attack faster, and then everything just starts all over again.
Sure.
And the other team is just taking wave after wave after wave. Yeah. And the momentum that they create from that grinds on teams. And you see a lot of teams, man, they come in here and they see that and they feel that, and they're like, I don't want to play this team anymore.
Right.
This is not fun.
Yeah,
it's a great
I don't enjoy this.
Hockey used to be easy, and now I don't like it anymore.
Yes, I'm not enjoying it.
No, Prongs, appreciate you, man. Thank you. We know you're here for a great cause.
Thank you.
And we also know that
if you haven't, if you're not, 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Puck
Puck drop. Centene Community Ice Center, I believe this is called, right?
Come on down. Absolutely.
2 for 2. Keep going.
2 for 2. We're on 101 ESPN.
There you go.
Hey, Chris Pronger, everybody. More of the Fast Lane next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-500-5000.
The info you need before and after every Blues game with the First Community pre- and post-game show.
First Community Credit Union, calling St. Louis home for 90 years and powered by Scott Lee Heating Company.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
Birds finally on the board. Good afternoon. I'm Bradford Brunson. This Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet plus Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals' first road game of 2025 not going according to plan so far. Boston putting up a 5-spot in the first against Eric Fetty. Ivan Herrera did slam another homer, his fourth, just minutes ago. Still, St. Louis now trailing 6-4 in inning number 5. Hockey, the Red Hot Blues shooting for their 12th consecutive win tomorrow with Colorado in town. Last night's dub over Pittsburgh in overtime, not without its difficulties, and Robert Thomas acknowledged as much on TMA this morning while appreciating his team's resolve.
Even when we do give up the lead, we find a way to win it, whether it's in overtime or late in the game or shootout. But those are just big moments that as you kind of prepare for what's coming ahead. And the last crunch time in the last 5 games, you got to find a way to close those games out in regulation.
And puck drop against the Avs can be heard at 6 p.m. right here on 101 ESPN. The Sports Interrupted was driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
This will be a shorter segment just so we can get back on clock here after talking to Chris Pronger, but Prongs was awesome. I love right as it goes out, it goes on 101 ESPN. Well done. Great dude. I know that Jamie, one, he's a fan favorite, but two, Jamie, I know that you really respected and appreciated him as a teammate too.
Oh, yeah. So Prongs and I, we were drafted the same year, and we had the same agent, and so there were lots of things that we end up doing in the off season where we go to certain camps and things he was talking about and whatnot. And so you get to know the guy a little bit, and then when he was traded here to St. Louis, I was the same age as him, and the team was much older. It was a really tough situation for him to come into. He had just been traded for Brendan Shanahan, one of the all-time fan favorites at that point. Mm-hmm. People didn't know what they had in Chris Pronger yet, and he was booed on home ice. And it was going through some stuff, man. And we lived together for a little bit, and I think that helped both of us. I think that got us away from some of the crap and, got me used to the league and got him away from some of the stuff he was going through. And so we kind of grew up together in that way. And then, obviously, he went on to have Hall of Fame career, and now he talks about battling adversity. He tells people how to battle adversity. If a guy, I can tell you this, if Chris Pronger is telling you how to battle adversity, you listen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because can you imagine at 19, 20 years old, you're being booed by 20,000 people?
Yeah.
On a nightly basis.
Yeah, it's tough,
and by the way,
I don't care who you are.
No, that's your home rink.
Yeah.
It's not the visiting rink.
Right. You almost expect it on the road, but if it's coming at home,
So much respect for him.
Yeah. The boys, the Cardinals offense, it might be legit.
They're scary.
They're losing. The Cardinals are losing right now. Eric Fetty was, I'm not going to mince words here, Eric Fetty was absolute crap earlier in the show. Well, it wasn't the show.
It was early in the show, too.
Yeah. Earlier in the game. He only lasted 3 innings. He allowed 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 walks, 1 K. The first inning was disastrous. Bregman doubled. Story hit a home run that he knew as soon as it left the bat, it was gone. Abreu also homered off Fetty in that inning. So the Red Sox poured on 5 in the first. The Cardinals come back in the third with a new bar single to make it 5-1, and then Fetty gives the run right back in the bottom of that inning. But since that point, the Cardinals have scored 4 unanswered runs, including another home run by Ivan Herrera. This time, a 3-run shot.
Listen.
And Donovan just homered in the top of the 5th, so now it's 6-5.
I was literally asking you at one point because he's already given up 2 stolen bases, and the throws on those stolen bases, Mason Wynn.
Was he on a knee though?
I don't give a damn if he was standing up, sitting down. He could have been at the pitcher's mound. Is probably the only way.
Carey.
That might be the only way he can get it there to second base without it being on the hop. Mason Wynn
With all due respect,
Mason Wynn knows it's not getting to me. He's running up to go make the catch. He's not even attempting to make the tag. With that being said,
he's running up to get it.
He's running up to catch it. It ain't close. With that being said, I asked Anthony, why in the hell didn't they, one, why is he still in here? Then he hits a 3-run shot, and that answered that question. Yep. 2, why didn't they change his position at some point? Because catcher is not it.
I said this yesterday, and you yelled at me.
No, we talked about this when you left. I should move so you two can be close together.
Why?
Because
why are you pointing?
You do that thing, and you two.
But why
we all do it. It's a fast lane thing.
It's you two.
Carey, you and I did it together yesterday.
That was weird as hell.
It was really weird.
I don't know. I still don't know why you just didn't do it.
It was weird and still uncomfortable. Like sometimes it can be opposite, but no, that was weird.
Very weird.
Yeah.
You said all 3 of the catchers should play at the same time, and I said I didn't like that idea. what I'm saying is, why the hell is he playing catcher in the first place? You did say move in the first place.
I was going to. Am I in crazy world right now?
No, but I'm saying not you. I don't think you can do it now. Why haven't you done it?
You did it to Contreras. He spent 10 years at catcher.
Yeah, they gave him an offseason to prepare for it. I don't think you can make that change.
Carey, first base is easy.
Yeah, okay.
Tell him, Wash.
Tell him.
Incredibly hard. Yeah, I think you should have done that in the offseason. Maybe next offseason they'll say, hey, you can hit, but you can't throw for.
I don't think he can't be your long-term plan at catcher. He can't be. He can be a long-term plan as one of your players.
He's going to be on the team.
But, Anthony, I mean, come on. How many catchers that are at this point in their career can't throw anybody out at second and stay at catcher?
Can't do it.
You can't.
No.
And Jamie, it's not even close.
I know.
Like, it's literally like the first one skipped to Mason Wynn, and he was a couple of steps in front of the bag. The second one, he's running because it's not going to get there, man. Like, it's like he was hoping it could. Oh, nope, got to go.
Trying to make it look better than it was.
Nah, it's no help. It's bad.
Here's the other thing too. You've got a catcher, and again, we're talking about the defense because the offense speaks for itself.
It's amazing,
but you create a situation if you're the Cardinals, based on the starting rotation, where you're going to have guys on. You don't have a bunch of strikeout throwers. Sonny Gray is that guy, but everybody else is a ground ball pitcher within your starting rotation.
Was he going to throw that down to third base?
He was thinking about it. We have the game on, by the way, at Sensing Community.
The guy walked back to third.
Hear me out,
buddy.
Yeah, hear me out. There's a guy on first and third. You know, if they steal, I mean, it's a perfect throw to try and get that guy running home, though,
question.
right? Because he
it's
doesn't.
Gonna be short.
It's going to be short,
Yeah.
and so you can cut it off and get the guy at home.
I don't like how you guys are joking about this.
Looking at the positive.
Who said we're joking?
Yeah.
It's the Little League play. You throw it to the shortstop, he's running in, and you get the guy.
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to
the
stack up.
pickoff.
Yeah.
I like that play.
But just throw it back to
It's
the
a
pitcher.
fast lane on 101 at ESPN.
He's disgusted with us.
Marsh, you ready for what's trending over there?
Yeah.
Marsh has got what's trending next on 101 ESPN.
The Blues play on ESPN.
Shoots, he scores!
Tomorrow, Blues and Avalanche. Pre-game at 5, puck drop at 6.
The wait is over!
Your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN.
Well, if you are thinking about selling your home, one thing you have to be aware of is the market is always shifting. Things are happening on a daily, weekly basis, and you're going to have a trusted agent with experience. So please let me help you out. Call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. There's several reasons why you should call Gloria, but let me give you a couple. One, she's been in the business for over 20 years. She understands the market. She understands where it's heading, where it's been. She understands that in St. Louis in particular, each zip code carries a different price tag. Therefore, when she sees your home, she'll know exactly what to price it at to, one, get you the most money possible, and sell it fast. And that's what's important. And you want help selling it fast? Well, Gloria Lou has you right there, too. She's got thousands of buyers in her database. That pushes traffic to your listing, and hopefully it gets you the money you're looking for and gets you to the closing table, because that's ultimately what you need to do. So please take a minute, call Gloria Lou, tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888, or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We are live at the Centene Community Ice Center. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, and sitting in Andrew Marsh's chair right now is the one and only Kevin Shattenkirk. Kevin, first of all, thanks for joining us. And I know that you were on the ice earlier today. We're just chatting. You had just retired not that long ago. How's it feel to be back on the ice already?
It's great. I mean, I miss skating a little bit. I don't miss skating at the NHL level.
Sure. This is your speed
this
now.
is my perfect speed. But
Yeah.
no, I'm excited to one, get back to St. Louis, and two, be here for the fantasy camp and then the game tonight for Chaser.
No doubt.
So, Shaddy, this is we all knew at some point you'd become a Blues alumni. I mean, it happens to all of us.
Yep.
It's your first event, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. How's it feel?
Feels great. I mean, you know, when you're playing, you get to meet all these amazing people, you know, and amazing alumni. And I think the Blues alumni has to be, in my mind, the best group in the league, and you know that. But now, now that I'm on the other side of it, I really see it, you know, and just how gracious everyone is to me, you know, congratulating me on a great career, and people I haven't seen in years. But that's St. Louis. That's the small town community feel, and everyone looks out for their own here, which I love.
Kevin, you mentioned you just decided to step away from the game. What went into that process? Was it a hard decision to make for you? Was it something that you kind of went back and forth with for a couple of weeks, or was it like, yeah, it's time?
Yeah, you know, towards the end, I got to that point where I said it was time. But, you know, I was hanging around waiting for some sort of contract to come, talk to a couple teams, and you know, I'm at a point in my life now where I have a couple kids, you know, and a wife who's been moving around and lugging a lot of stuff around for me for a long time. And, you know, other things get brought into consideration. So, you know, you weigh those options out. And when I really sat down and thought about it, you know, I was obviously very proud of what I've done. And, you know, just grateful that I was able to spend so much time in the NHL. I mean, I think I never thought that I would play as long as I did. I was happy to play one game and call it a career if that had been the case. So it was, like you said, it was time. The aches and pains started to bite at me, and it was, I was ready to call it.
Kevin Shattenkirk joins us right now. We're at the Puck Cancer second shift alumni. We're ahead of the alumni game, which is tonight. Kevin, you mentioned you got three small kids.
Yep.
They playing hockey yet? You got
my
them on
little
skates?
guy. Yeah, he's my oldest. He's 5, so he was playing this year and absolutely loves it. My daughter doesn't want anything to do with it. My little one. And the 7-month-old, you know, hopefully we'll have her in skates in the next month or two. You know, so we'll try to get her going.
What's it like? Because we all talk about, you know, we're all in various stages of fatherhood, and it's tough sometimes to wear the dad cap and the coach's cap. Are you there yet? Where
Coming from
you're
Anthony, by the way.
I struggle with it a little bit more than others. But for you, you know, how difficult is it to not try to, like, I mean, you play at the NHL level for a long time. You just said he's 5. It's kind of tough to, like, here's all my information. Please take it. And I mean, how hard is it not to? Take it slow.
It's been easier for me, I think, at this level because it's almost too hard for me to coach the simple things, you know, and like teaching them how to skate and stop and, you know, take a wrist shot, like all these little things that now feel like second nature.
Sure.
But, you know, he enjoys being out there with me and playing and seeing me on the ice with him or being in the basement and playing. And I'm happy to keep it that way for now. And, you know, hopefully along the way there's great coaches that he has the opportunity to play for. And if I need to step in, I'll step in, but I'll do my best not to be banging on the glass every game.
Well, let me tell you a quick story. We all know Big Walt. He's one of our favorite human beings. And when I first retired, I started like kind of sort of helping my 2 boys play, just starting. And I said to Walt, I'm never going to coach. I just want to sit back, let somebody do the job, and just I'm going to enjoy it. You know, I'm just going to be a hockey dad. He started laughing. He goes, "Oh, okay, buddy." He goes, "Just wait till they're old enough and they have a practice that you can't watch anymore."
Yeah.
He's like, "Your skates will be on. You'll be on the ice before you know it." And that's what happened.
Yep.
And then to further that, just to get you prepared a little bit here, and maybe it won't be that way for you, was for me, as my kids got older, I was coaching their teams. They didn't want to listen to me.
Right.
I tell them, hey, you got to. What do you know, Dad? Oh, what?
Right, exactly.
And I had an assistant coach. I'm not lying to you. He was a doctor. He skated in his free time. Never played like the greatest guy ever, Doc McKenzie. I'll never forget. One of the greatest dudes. I had to start telling Doc what to tell my kids so they'd listen. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I'm already at that stage. I mean, my son Connor, he finally. They played a few games this year. The coaches got them some jerseys, and they said, all right, what 3 numbers? Put them all down. Hopefully, you get your number, your first choice. If not, you get your second and third. I sat with him 5 times. I asked him over and over again, what numbers do you want? 77 for Victor Hedman, 25 for Brandon Carlo, 20 for Chris Kreider. I'm like,
what about that?
Yeah. I walked away for 5 minutes. I came back and sure, I'm handing this in tonight. He's like, nope, those are the numbers.
All right. I told my boys, I say, boys, you have a lot of numbers you can pick from.
Right.
Your dad, we're a lot of numbers.
That's right. Kevin Shattenkirk joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Speaking of Big Walt, you played again. I'm sure you played against both the Kachuk brothers.
Yep.
What's it like seeing the maturation process for two incredible young players that, and at least of the dad, what sort of players are they on the ice?
I mean, they're the complete package. I think it was great for me because I did get to see them growing up playing here. I remember going to their Pee Wee Quebec fundraiser and buying a wine basket to help the cause. But and I think I'm grateful that I knew them beforehand because they usually look the other way when we had the net front scrums. But no, I mean, like the new age NHL, it's obviously a highly skilled league and players are tremendously fast, but they have that combination with power, with tenacity. They have a bite to their game, which I think any GM and coach would love to have. And we saw what they did at the Four Nations. I mean, they lit up the hockey world, and it was amazing for the sport. It was amazing for the USA hockey program to get that recognition. But they welcome every challenge that comes their way, and I think that's one of their best qualities. They're ready to answer the bell at any moment.
So, Shatty, you had a really long career, successful career. You won a Stanley Cup with the Lightning. I'm curious because we just had Prongs in here, and it was one thing to talk to Prongs or talk to me about how the game has changed and whatnot, but we haven't lived it per se. Mm-hmm. You did, because the game has continued to evolve so much over the last 6, 7, 8 years, and here you are coming into the league playing a certain way, certain systems, certain beliefs or ideas, and then you're going out of the league with it being completely different.
Yep.
How challenging was that for you to continuously evolve, or was it just sort of a natural progression for you?
I think I was lucky in a sense that when I came into the league, being a smaller, undersized offensive defenseman, I mean, I was definitely coming into the old guard of you're still a little bit of clutching and grabbing and fighting, and that side of the game was still pretty prominent. But I found my way around the ice. I could skate out of my problems if I needed to. But then to your point, I mean, they kept rule changes going, and obviously they started calling things tighter and taking away hooking and a lot of those things, and it allowed the skill and the speed to really shine. And I definitely had to adjust. I mean, that was something I remember my 5th or 6th year in the league working on in the summer was my skating, and working on my edge work and that aside from what we were doing in the gym. And I remember, that made me feel more confident. And I became one of the slower guys along the way towards the end of my career, but then I could think the game and everything kind of, I knew where guys would be and I could pass my way, through it and kind of be one step ahead of everyone. But, I found myself at the end of my career, like not even thinking about trying to skate away from a guy and take off. Like I was like, make the pass, enjoy the rush. Like, exactly. I mean, I was getting caught from behind every which way, so there was none of that in my game at the end.
Kevin, you were in Boston last year under Jim Montgomery. Tell us a little bit about him. Obviously, he got fired from there and hired here. What did you learn from him, and are you surprised at all with the success that the Blues are having right now?
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I think with Monty, he has the ability, one, to go into the locker room and grab guys' attention. He's a great motivator. he puts a simple game plan in front of you. And the thing that I loved about him, again, like I was saying, I like to think the game, and he loves smart players. He wants you to play a certain system, but at the same time, he wants you to just be smart and make plays. He doesn't try to take that away from his players. And I think, when he first got here, that takes a little bit of time for guys to adjust to. He loves low plays at the net and trying to get pucks, right into the scoring area. And again, that takes time to build. And now I think you're seeing the buy-in from the players. This tremendous streak that they're on is it's no accident. I mean, Monty has the way of keeping things fresh and making sure that even when you're on a winning streak or you're losing games, the message doesn't get stale, and I think that's important.
Kevin, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Enjoy tonight's festivities, and if this does continue, congratulations on a tremendous career. And
thank you.
You were absolutely a fan favorite here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
We're glad to see you back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's great to be back. And if you see me on the ice tonight, get the defibrillator.
Oh, yeah. I'm counting on you to be my partner.
Oh, my God. I got another game now and then another game after that. This is the most minutes I've played all year.
That's amazing. Well, have fun tonight. Kevin Shattenkirk, everybody. He will play tonight in the Puck Cancer second shift to benefit a couple of great organizations and our guy Kelly Chase as well. So it's a tremendous one. So, Siteman Cancer Center, Jimmy V Foundation as well. All the proceeds go there, and man, it's going to be a great night down here at Centene Community Ice Center. We will, we'll talk sports.
We'll try something.
We'll do something next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
WXOS HD1 East St. Louis 101 ESPN is driven by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm. can now watch 101 ESPN live on our Air Alliance Team Studio Cams. Catch every show live on our YouTube channel or at 101ESPN.com. 101 ESPN Studio Cams.
Presented by the Air Alliance Team Heating and Cooling. Getting the job done quickly, correctly, 100% of the time.
You're in the fast lane. Broadcasting live from E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring. What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending? Brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
306, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh. They're live at Centene Community Ice Center for tonight's Puck Cancer second shift. The event that, of course, benefits, or at least we try to have it benefit, the Siteman Cancer Research Foundation as well as the Jimmy V Foundation. Speaking of Marshy, he's got What's Trending.
Gentlemen, we're having fun, are we not?
Yes, sir.
Talked with Prongs, talked with Kevin Shattenkirk. I'm about to ruin the mood right now.
What?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to bring up a question to you guys. What is more concerning, Nolan Gorman's injury or Dylan Holloway's injury?
Oh, that'd be B for me, Bob.
Yeah. Door number 2, please.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
do we know what it is yet?
For Dylan Holloway?
Yeah.
It's just day-to-day.
It's a body.
It's a lower body.
Do we ever know truly with hockey
I don't
players?
like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You don't like a lower body?
No. Well, I do like a lower body. I don't like not knowing.
You could be an upper body.
Nah, I don't like knowing that what's wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to know.
Mm.
And I can assess how long it's going to take.
Yeah, because we know what Gorman's dealing with. Gorman, he was placed on the injured list earlier today.
Lower body injury.
Lower body injury for Gorman. Thomas Ajayce was called up for the series with Boston, and Gorman will be back. Yeah, hamstring.
Usually you got to be fast to get a hamstring.
Whoa. Big, heavy guys blow hamstrings.
I did blow one. I blew a hamstring.
You did, huh?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't
How was
extremely
it?
fast. It was terrible. I was running down on kickoff in Denver.
Yeah.
And blew that hand. Pow! I felt like I got shot in the back of my leg.
Something hit me.
Yeah, something hit me. It was bad, man.
That's 2 this week. That's 2 this week.
Yep.
Yours was funny the other day.
Jamie, you missed it. Man, Carey had
He was rolling.
an all-time line from that movie.
He was rolling. All of a sudden, he just goes, "Seats taken."
Oh, man.
I forgot what it was. It's at the end of the show.
Yeah, we were talking at the end of the show, and somehow Forrest Gump got brought up. Oh, because we were talking about Jenny.
Jenny.
Talking about Jenny.
And how awful
Don't bring
she
her
is.
up.
Terrible person.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And that's when
Terrible.
Forrest gets on the bus. And
Yep.
That little kid said, "Seats taken."
Seats
But
taken.
then Jenny was there. It was probably the nicest moment she had all movie. And
One of the only.
yeah.
Yeah.
And said, "You can sit here."
can sit here. Yeah.
She was trying her best.
Was she?
She had a rough upbringing.
She did.
She did.
You know, when you have a rough upbringing, you deal with trauma.
I mean, she did.
Yep.
You know,
She did help Forrest.
she did.
I mean, without her, there's
Yeah.
probably
There you
things
go.
that don't happen.
Well, think about it. She told Forrest to run.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she did.
She
Yeah.
told Forrest to
Forrest
run.
to run,
He
and
went to
then-
college, played for Alabama.
You know,
and kept running.
I think there's
certain things she was good at helped Forrest.
There you
very
go.
true. And
There
I
you go.
think that the argument could be made, guys, that Jenny was.
What the hell happened?
We've got all kinds of things going on here. Jamie his whole seat just went down. I think that Jenny did more good than Rose did in the Titanic.
I don't. But Rose at least didn't pin a kid on him.
Well,
Rose, she couldn't have. She let him
could.
die.
Yeah.
Rose killed him.
Rose
She let
literally
him
let
die.
him drown.
Yeah, but
Didn't
Jenny.
you think he froze to death or drowned?
Oh, he froze.
Okay.
Yeah, he froze,
Before
but
he
then his
drowned.
body drowned. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had hypothermia within
was
seconds
done. Yeah. Okay.
of her not moving over.
Could have moved over.
I mean, they're both a different kind of evil.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest about that.
I don't think
Very true.
I don't think Rose. Well, yeah, you might be right. I don't know. I don't know which one is worse.
She was worse.
She could have sought out his family.
Yeah.
Who, Rose?
Yeah, she could have. Could have paid for.
We'll get the Updog's opinion on this.
Come on over. Scottie Upshall joining us right now. You're fresh off the ice. It's the Fast Lane on 101 to ESPN. We'll get Scott seated.
Be careful.
These
chairs are.
These chairs are.
Jamie just almost fell over.
Damage done in here. Nice studio, boys.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We got the Phillies playing. What do we got?
No.
Come on.
Boys. Yeah. Hey, all good. We don't have Philadelphia fans. What's up, boys? What's up?
How you doing?
Good, man.
Good to see you. Anthony Stalter, Kerry Davis, Super Bowl champion.
Fellas, good to meet
and
you.
I don't know if you recognize him. That's Jamie Rivers. So,
Jamie, good to see you, buddy.
Scottie Upshall joins us. Yeah. So we just talked to Kevin Shattenkirk, and he said that he had like 3 games earlier. He's got another one coming up, another one. How many games are you into right now?
I got 3. I got
3
3.
already?
We finished 1. It was a bloodbath out there. The boys played well.
Was that
We're playing against silly balls. We had Mike Sillinger on the other squad.
Oh, boy.
I highlighted him.
You got to
took advantage of him.
Yeah.
But my team's actually out there right now. Playing the second match. But I thought I'd come in here and,
Is your team good enough without you up
Our
right
team's
now?
pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some good drafting last night. By the way, you guys had Shaddy in here. He should still be playing.
Oh, really?
Kevin Shattenkirk should still be playing.
He said he got some offers, and it just kind of came down to he was done.
He came to Aspen in December for a buddy's charity hockey event. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, the passes, and he's still throwing it around crispy and, making plays. And he's an all-time guy.
Yeah.
All-time guy.
He was talking about the speed of the game eventually was just too much, but he could alter things with the passing and just kind of thinking it through. When you were playing, did you get to a point too where you're like, okay, game's slowing down, my skill set might be from a speed standpoint might be taking a step back, but I can see the game slower and better?
Yeah, you know what? I had 1 speed when I played. Yeah. I was head first through the wall. Jamie, you know what that's all about.
Oh, yeah.
So I only knew one way to play. It just it came to a point where the body kind of didn't hold up. It wasn't so much the speed. I think the speed was there, but the game is, as you guys know, the game is so fast and it's so highly skilled. And I won't blame Hitch for putting the handcuffs on guys like me and Steve Ott and Kyle Brodziak back in the day. But we knew our role here. It wasn't a highly skilled role. It was go out and do your job. Don't turn pucks over. And if you score a couple goals, bonus, but just be responsible out there.
Don't make it your number one.
Yeah, and go to bed before 11 o'clock, which was always hard.
The biggest challenge.
That was the biggest challenge, yeah, by rights.
You accepted your role, but
I went out the right way, I think, boys. Now I got 3, having my 3rd kid here coming up, but got a beautiful little family. And
that's unreal.
I took my time, and enjoyed the career.
Good for you.
And now it's on to the next.
Are you playing any hockey out west? I know you're.
You know what?
Where
boys,
are you exactly?
I'm in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
So I've had the little guy. My little guy Beckham's 2.5. I've had him at the rink a bunch. Spent last weekend watching my niece, who is 16. She's playing in the U.S. National, the U.S. Nationals. It was held in Newport Beach. So I was at the rink all weekend. It felt good to be back there. I don't spend much time around the rink. I miss it. I miss the smell. I miss the sounds. I miss the shooting the shit. And so I'd like to get back in there and do more, but we'll see. This is a beautiful rink, boys, that the guys did here.
It's unreal, huh?
This is a good place to hang out.
Yeah.
And by the way, your studio is top notch.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
We owe it to our friends over at E&B Granite.
That's good. I'm in the space now. With Missin Curfew, we got a studio in Newport Beach, and me and Obi were in there.
Yeah.
We do 2 shows a week for the DraftKings Network, and we're cranking out content, and it's fun. It's like this. We come in and we talk hockey,
fun.
we talk life, we talk a little gambling, and it's good. And guys like to listen, and it's the same sort of crew that listens to you guys. So
how'd you get started with that? Because it's got to be something that was one of your brainchild. You'd start thinking about, or did you just start messing around a little bit, and it kind of got bigger, and then you kind of it just keeps evolving?
Well, it's a good point. So Obi, out of Shane O'Brien, and played 600 games in the league, big enforcer, but big personality. He always had this thought that after we're done, me, him, and we were going to get our boy Joffrey Lupul to do the Three Horsemen type show, just because we lived that life, single guys in California in the summer and doing our thing in Hollywood and going to concerts and chasing girls and whatever the case may be. We like lived our lives, and it was good. And I kept playing, so he retired. He did a couple radio shows, but the moment my career was ending was like during COVID, and he's like, man, this is probably the time. Like we should try to get a producer. And The Athletic took it on for a little bit, and then our buddy Kevin Connolly from Entourage, who had just started a podcast business up in LA, was like, listen, come into the studio and let's just brainstorm, and we'll fire the mics on, press record, and to see how you guys like it. And we brought in Jimmy Hayes, rest in peace, Jimmy Hayes. We brought him in from Boston, so he was our East Coast personality. We had all played together in Florida, and it was the play-in tournament that really started us off. So it was like that September of October of 2020. That we started doing it. So it's been, 5 years. I think 300 episodes. Wow. DraftKings been a big supporter of ours. A bunch of good little brands along the way that we talk about, and we do the Fella Tour, which is, we go on the road. We see you guys. I know I've seen you on the road, Rivers. Yep. But it's good, man. It's good that ex-hockey players stick around. Either if they stick around the team and the game is great. That's a difficult life. We ventured into the other thing, which we don't know much about, like the podcast world, and we're like, let's see if we can build a following, and it's been really good. It's grown, and
you guys are killing it, man.
Yeah,
you guys are on the NHL Network. Like you're everywhere.
We were on the NHL Network the last 3 years. We haven't been so much this year, but what Spit and Chicklets paved the road for. They're the OGs, and they crush it, and they really set the standard for what content can be delivered to the people that love hockey and the people that love hanging out with guys in the locker room. And that's been our message. It's just like, let's be locker room guys, and let's let the listeners get a little feel for what life is like as an NHLer.
So, what's the next step for you guys? Sorry, Carey.
That next step for us?
Sorry, Carey.
I don't know, man. It's
because you got to keep getting bigger, evolving.
Yeah, totally. Well, look at the deal that Bettman just signed with Rogers up in Canada, right? It's $14 billion or whatever the case may be. That's a lot of money to be thrown around, our game, which is good. That means our game's growing. The cap's going up, but with the growth of that and paying players more, and you need to showcase the game more, right? You need to have more personalities talk about the game. Bring in. I just love being part of a group that has built this little brand, and we go to games, and guys like, "What's up, fellas?" Like we kind of have built our little brand, and guys, we give them that couple hours of their day that they think they're hanging out at the rink when they might be driving to work, or they might be like, they're old ladies, cooking some food over there, and they got their AirPod in, and they're laughing because they're listening to hockey, and that's kind of that's been the message. And so what's next is probably just continue to grow. And, we started to do a little pickleball thing with Jordan, with our boy Schmaltzy, who played here. He's a great kid. He does the Hockey Night in Scottsdale show, which is
he's
a great personality. He's good for the game. And we have fun. So it's been really good.
You mentioned that you retired about 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago.
Geez, man. Yeah, it's a long time now, 2018.
How does your body feel? Like when you wake up, because I know Jamie he's old. Yeah. I'm older. He's older than me.
On,
but
that's a ricochet. What the hell?
Well,
my body's actually not bad.
Really?
My body's good. I don't work out a whole lot. I still hit the ball like 3:30. My golf game's tight. I do a lot of hot yoga.
Okay.
Like I sweat. I got a sauna at home. So I'd say I take care of the body, but I drink wine every night. So
don't you dare feel bad for that.
But like when it comes to the body, I had some crazy injuries. My last injury was a full knee reconstruction. I still got the knee, but if a guy leaves the game with that sort of injury, he's probably banged up. I feel actually pretty good, and it's an attest to the the trainers I've had along the way, the knowledge I learned as a player, how to treat the body. And, just for an example, like if you get hurt nowadays doing something dumb, it's usually doing something dumb,
right?
Pickleball or whatever. You bang up your ankle. You want to treat yourself like a professional athlete because that's always how you treated your body. Right. And man, I'm not going to get this thing back to normal if I don't give it everything I got. And that's like kind of a lesson that I learned along the way. So I try not to do anything dumb. that puts me off the sheet for 4 to 6, but it might happen here and now. But the body's good. Body's good.
Well, hey, have fun tonight.
Yeah, I got to get out there, boys.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, we don't want you. We don't want you to fall
boys,
behind.
yeah, it's again, you guys know this is for a great cause, and I'm happy to be here again. This is year 2, and Kelly's a fighter, and appreciate you guys having me on.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Scottie
Upshall, thank you so much. We're going to let him get back on the ice. Appreciate him. And we're live at Sensing Community Ice Center for the second shift Puck Cancer event. It's going to be a great night here at Sensing Community Ice Center. More with us here in the Fast Lane, including an update on the Cardinals next on 101 ESPN.
Start your day with the morning after on 101 ESPN. Get in the know first on everything St. Louis sports with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Martin Kilcoy. Listen to TMA weekday mornings from 7 to 11 a.m. on 101 ESPN. The morning after is presented by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm.
Congratulations to Matthew Mackey from Baldwin, Missouri. He was just named our 101 ESPN Blues Fan of the Week.
Submit your pick now to be the next 101 ESPN Blues Fan of the Week and take home a pair of tickets to an upcoming Blues game. Learn more at 101ESPN.com. Live from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
Friendly rivalry. Swing, high fly ball to right. Abreu going back. He's at the track and wall. That's going to carry out of here. Brendan Donovan's made it a one-run game. The The Cardinals do it again with 2 outs.
The offense has been great at Fenway Park, but the pitching has not. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN live from Centene Community Ice Center for tonight's Puck Cancer second shift. As they head into the bottom of the 7th now at Fenway Park, Cardinals still trail 8-6. But, guys, this could have been an absolute blowout, given the fact that Eric Fedde took the mound, and in his 3 innings, he allowed 5 hits, 6 earned runs, walked 4, only 1 strikeout. Steven Matz has come in, and he's allowed 2 runs, so he's given up 2 runs as well. But he's pitched 3 innings, and if you're going to have anything out of Steven Matz, or if you're going to have him in the bullpen, this is one of your advantages. It's somebody that can eat up multiple innings for you if your starter does not pitch well. So at least that's the case. But this offense, guys, has been outstanding again today. Lars Nootbaar, another 2 hits on the day, 2 for 4, runs scored, RBI. Brendan Donovan just picked up his 2nd RBI. He's also 2 for 4. Alec Burleson is 3 for 3. Ivan Herrera touched seats again today, 3-run home run. He's 1 for 3, and Mason Wynn's got a hit as well. Really, the only guys that have not, the only 2 guys that have not been hitting consistently in this lineup have been Wilson Contreras, who's 0 for 4 today, and the aforementioned Mason Wynn. Everybody else has contributed greatly to this offense. It has been exciting to watch them.
It's been fun, and this is a game where, in years past, you would get down 5-6 runs. You're like, oh, we can change the channel. But this team has found a way to fight its way back into the game. Each time they're up to the plate, you're feeling like, okay, they might have a chance to tie this game or take the lead. And it's not something that is that we're accustomed to from the past couple of years. The hitting has been outstanding. Now, I guess the concern can be, well, what are we going to get from the pitching staff?
Right.
We saw the bullpen have a little bit of a issue a couple of games, and now, starting pitcher Sonny Gray yesterday or a couple of days ago gave up the bomb, and now Fedde had a rough outing. So, but the hitting, Brent Brown, man, get that man a raise. Do it now.
The thing, you mentioned, Carey, you say, we'll see if we can get anything out of the pitching. It's interesting, though. Coming into the season, we were almost looking at this whole team as, all right, one big question mark. If we can just see, and it is so early in the year, but if we could just see the offense with all these young hitters and guys that are going to be mainstays in the lineup, hopefully for years to come, if this offense can come alive, we know that the pitching is going to see plenty of turnover in the offseason, Jamie. So I don't want to do the whole, if it just have offense, we're good. But at least we're seeing something in the early going that we did not see the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, the offense is actually producing, and look at 6 runs again so far today. Who knows what the outcome might be, but the defensive side, the pitching's been a little bit of a concern.
Yeah.
You scored, 7 against the Angels and lost. That's a tough look.
Right.
You scored 6 so far today against the Red Sox. They have 8 so far. Bottom of the 7th. Again, we'll see where it ends up. But at this point, you're going to have to put up 3 more at minimum to win this game. You're really relying upon your offense to do a lot, man.
Yeah.
You're already averaging, 4.5 runs per game or something like that?
It's up to 7.
They have not scored fewer than 4 runs in any game this year. They have scored at least 5 runs in every game except for the game that Marsh took for them to go over their team total of 4.5.
Don't you think that's a lot to ask of your offense?
Oh, it's way too much to ask for your offense. Absolutely.
It's not sustainable.
No, it's not. It's funny. It's like we're always having 2 conversations right now with the Cardinals. It's having an appreciation of like, oh, okay, good. This offense is looking good, and yet the pitching isn't good, and we're trying to win games. I think we're going to have this interesting push and pull with the Cardinals all season long, Marsh.
Well, I think, heading into the season, we had a ton of question marks about the entire team. At least for me, I feel comfortable, at least this early in the season, knowing that, okay, one of those questions has sort of been answered. This team offensively is pretty dang good, right? And so if this season is more about let's figure out what we have out of this squad, then we can start to look into the further years and be like, hey, we feel pretty comfortable at the plate. We know that's going to play. Now we can start tinkering with people that we want on our staff, or maybe we do make some adjustments with positions in terms of where people play. So I think if you can get one of those big questions answered early on in this season, then you can start to figure out the rest of it. And maybe you do start bringing up some of the young pitchers, right?
Sure.
Maybe you start doing that if you're like, hey, we actually have a shot here to make the postseason. This is the best way for us to get there, is to bring in these young guys. We have already relied on a lot of the young guys at the plate, and they've done their job. Maybe we can get the same thing out of the pitching staff.
Well, to your point, Marsh, we often talk about how are you winning games, how are you losing games, and is it defined? Not all 83 win seasons are the same. If they have 83 wins again this year, but the offense did a lot of the heavy lifting, and it's just the pitching that was the anchor. Okay, that is something to build on, as opposed to winning 83 games last year, and you're like, I don't know what I'm watching.
Right.
So if that's the case, and again, we got a long way to go, if that's the case, at least there's some major positive to come out of it. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We have not gone back to this, but I want to get Jamie's viewpoint on whether or not last night was an aberration, or if some of the defensive issues that have popped up, is that a cause for concern right now with the Blues? Jamie will tell us next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-500-5000.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
Cards battling back in Beantown. I'm Bradford Bruns with your Sports Center update, brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. After falling into a 5-0 hole in the first, the Cardinals still climbing back in their road opener for 2025 versus Boston. Right now, entering the bottom of the 7th inning, the Red Sox leading 8-6. STL starter Eric Fetty was knocked out after 65 pitches. He allowed 6 runs, all earned on 5 hits and 4 walks. Offensively, Ivan Herrera once again leading the charge. He has a 3-run jack. Brendan Donovan owns a solo shot. Pucks, the Blues await visiting Colorado tomorrow night. They will be without Dylan Holloway for the next couple of games per coach Jim Montgomery. TMA guest Robert Thomas took stock of said loss earlier today.
Hope he's feeling better today and can get back soon. But it's the same thing that we talked about when Franco went down. Obviously, he's a huge part of our team as well. And we've always been a team built around depth and next man up.
That information just revised, as a matter of fact, now expected to be sidelined for multiple weeks. The Sports Center update was brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
You're in the fast lane, broadcasting live from E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
From the Sensing Community Ice Center, it's a fast lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. The Cardinals currently trail right now. The Red Sox 10-6. The pitching has basically said, hey, offense, go fast lane yourself. You're not going to catch up, and we're going to ensure it. No matter who's been on the bump today for the Cardinals, they have stunk. Jamie?
Yeah.
Last night, exciting, thrilling win at Enterprise Center. Blues scored 5 goals in that overtime victory. Fans got to enjoy the franchise-tying 11th consecutive win. That said, some defensive lapses.
What?
One game aberration, or are you noticing some trends?
No, just it is what it is. It happens. It's just like any other sport where you get a couple of lapses. I mean, the team has been so airtight for an extended period of time that now when there's a couple of lapses, we're like, oh, that's it. What's going on here?
Sure. Was there anything that the Penguins were doing that you picked up on?
No.
That? Okay.
Really, no. Not
So just
at all.
playing hockey.
Here's what people have to understand. The Blues right now are playing every other day.
Mm-hmm.
And so, today's an off day-ish, but your body is still not really recovered, and then you're practicing, so your body stays active again. And then tomorrow night, you have a 6 o'clock puck drop hour earlier against the Avalanche. You're always playing catch-up in this race, and when you're playing that many games in such a short amount of time, things happen. You make some mental mistakes. You get physically tired, mentally tired. I'm not seeing anything that I would consider to be a pattern. The only thing that I would like the Blues to work on, talk about, address, would be their 6-on-5 play. When the other team pulls a goalie, it has been a struggle this year. The other teams have shown that they can produce goals, that they can have success 6-on-5, and you're supposed to. You're up. You've got an extra player, but there's things that the Blues are doing. Like last night, shouldn't have been so far from the goal line. There's no need. The half wall guy, let him shoot through you to get to the net. Don't worry about the back guy so much. But again, guys are being elevated into different spots right now. You're missing Colton Parayko. That's putting more minutes on the plate for other players on the defensive side. Dylan Holloway left the game. That put more minutes on every forward's plate. It's just, you're dealing with a lot of things.
For me, it felt like maybe fatigue is starting to set in. We talked about this a couple of days ago when the Blues have essentially been in a playoff push since February, and you're playing all of these games. You're playing as hard. You got the pedal to the metal. Your foot is on the gas, and you have to play that hard to get into the playoffs, to get into the playoff picture. And now you're starting to see, like, Holloway got hurt yesterday. Sonny got hit in the face with a stick. Braden Shen kind of skated off slowly after getting cross-checked in the back. And so I think maybe, and you know this, Jamie, when you're tired, you tend to get hurt easier. Not that somebody hitting you with a stick is something you can prevent, but you do get injured or you get hurt more when you're fatigued, because I think this team has been pushing it so hard to get into the playoffs. I think you're starting to see a little bit of that, and that might be part of the reason why they started out a little bit slow yesterday and were not playing at the level that we're accustomed to them playing from start to finish.
Yeah, it could be. All of it can be a factor in it right now, and yeah, these guys are playing hard every night. It's not going to get easier because you got Colorado, Winnipeg, then Edmonton in your next 3 games, and you still got you got some uncertainties when it comes to the injury front. What's still in Holloway's injury? Jimmy Snuggerud today took practice on the first line with Thomas and Buchnevich. Do I think Jimmy Snuggerud's ready for that? Probably not, but he did look good. He had a couple of shifts with Thomas and Buchnevich yesterday. Looked pretty good. Maybe that's what Monty's counting on. A little bit of chemistry for a game here, a little bit of chemistry for a game there.
Chemistry is good.
Yeah, it is.
You have to make eye contact.
Sometimes it looks great.
Yep, you make eye contact,
and you know it when you see it.
Yeah,
yep, you do.
Truly.
I think, Anthony, to answer your question, one thing that Jim Montgomery brought up was the Blues' ability to manage the game. So even though they aren't playing their best hockey, they're still finding ways to win, obviously, especially, against a team that, let's be honest, probably, like, from a statistics-wise, I think had a better chance or should have won that game. But, like, the Blues, they found a way to win, right? Like, they scored 2 goals within a span of, 2 minutes. So you can't count that offense out. But, he talks about game management, and I think that ultimately that's how the Blues are winning these games when they don't have their best game. Now, if they play this way come playoff time, I don't know how long they can keep that up against some of the better teams in the league. But I think one thing that benefits the Blues is that they will end the season about 4 days before the playoffs actually start. Yeah. And we keep talking about, Calgary, Vancouver, they have all these games in hand.
They got to win them.
They got to win them, but also they're playing up until I believe that Thursday night, of the final week of the regular season. The Blues will end on, I believe, Tuesday or Monday. So that's beneficial, especially if these guys are banged up, they're tired. That will give them some rest heading into the playoffs if they are to make it, which we hope they will and we think they will.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, you've got to put your foot on the gas here right now and keep the pressure on, the teams below you, which include the Minnesota Wild right now, which is crazy to even think about that. But
yeah, it's insane to even think about. And Curbs, we were talking to Curbs before the show, and he had brought this up. It's incredible to think, too, that you're still not even in yet, despite the 11 consecutive wins. I mean, you still have to play a playoff brand of hockey to get into the playoffs. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because, look, it is what it is. You put yourself in this spot. At least we're talking about the playoffs as not only a realistic situation or possibility, but as something that the Blues can achieve that top wild card if all things break well.
Yeah, and look, I'd much rather be playing this playoff-style hockey and having the success than playing this playoff-style hockey and still losing.
Very true.
Right,
and you're just snake bit.
Or if you're win 2, lose 2, win 3, lose 1. Like, that drains you more than just continuing to win.
Yeah.
And would they even be playing this style of hockey if they're not bought in because the wins aren't there? I think you have to
probably not
bring that in consideration as well.
You like to think so, right? But we're all creatures of habit. If you don't have the results, it's kind of tough to keep grinding every single day. Again,
exactly.
You want to have that mindset, but if you're not seeing those results, that's tough. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We do have the Gauntlet coming up in about 15 minutes or so. Cardinals now trail 11-6 to the Red Sox. When this game is over, they're in the top of the 8th. Probably after the Gauntlet, we'll have a breakdown of observations that we have in the Cardinals today. It ain't looking good, even though the offense has been on point again today. Not looking good for the Cardinals. We'll have a recap. But let's dive into the Battlehawks. Home openers this weekend. And it's against the team that knocked them out last year in the playoffs.
Not good.
We'll get into the matchup next on 101 ESPN.
We want to hear from you. Use the Scott Lee Mic Drop feature on the 101 mobile app. Give us your opinion on anything St. Louis sports with a mic drop.
Brought to you by the Scott Lee Heating Company.
Circa Las Vegas is bringing the world's largest sports book to your fingertips. All you have to do is download the Circa Sports Illinois app. Easy to find. Go over to the website, or you can find them in the App Store. It's old school Vegas. It caters to those familiar with betting, which is why their lines are as aggressive as they are. There's no promos. The promo is in the price and in the payout. And we talk about the odds. The odds are the best. Download any other app out there. Check out the odds that they're offering. And Circa Sports gives you better odds, which means better payouts. They've got tight money line splits. It means you're getting the best odds, again, out of any app that's out there. They also love mentioning how good their lines are for futures bets. They have high betting limits as well, which is fun for people. Exceptional customer service. You'll talk to a real person when you reach out, not some automated response or a chat bot. Again, it's user-friendly, super fun to have out there. You got your money lines, your player props, your parlays, whatever it is you're into, Circa Sports Illinois, they have you covered. So please don't miss out on the action. Download a Bet Like a Pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on the excitement. If you or someone you know have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Live from the ENB Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. ENB Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
From the Sensing Community Ice Center, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN, at least part of us. Jamie and Carey took off.
They don't care about the Battlehawks.
They don't care about the Battlehawks, and that's just a shame. Before we do get into the Battlehawks, Marsh, you have some unfortunate news that I want you to read.
Why do I have to read it, Anthony?
Because it's bad.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. And I'm sure some people have already seen this, but, we're talking about the Blues last segment, and the Blues did announce that Dylan Holloway officially week to week with a lower body injury.
Oh, boy.
Jeremy Rutherford posted, our Blues insider from The Athletic, when Montgomery met with the media earlier today, said Holloway was visiting the doctor for an evaluation, and more would be known when that was complete. It's now known as week to week.
Well, I don't like what you have to say.
Jamie, that's why I had Marsh deliver the news.
Yep.
I have not seen this hot of a team be so snake bit. And I look, adversity is going to hit, and when it's all said and done, you can kind of talk about the adversity and everything that you overcame. But Jamie, this is a lot of adversity.
Why? What are you talking about?
Colton Parayko.
He'll be back soon.
Dylan Holloway.
He'll be back
week to week. Week to week.
They heal fast.
Now, when I hear week to week, I expect 2 weeks because there's only 2 of the word week.
Oh,
right.
That's how you get there.
That's how I get there. I'm trying to be positive here. It's better than month to month, right?
Okay.
Jamie, this can't be good, right? Break it all down for us.
Well, I wish I knew the injury, but based on the fact that it's week to week, it means it's serious enough to. They're basically going to reevaluate it every week. That's what that means. So at the end of this week, end of 7 days, they'll reevaluate it again. That we another 7 days, reevaluate it. It is what it is.
I hate it.
I hate it too, but one thing this team has shown us during this stretch is they can overcome a lot of this stuff.
Who does this benefit?
What do you mean?
Playing time wise, lineup wise, matchup wise.
Well, Matthew Joseph will draw back into the lineup. It'll ultimately benefit Snuggerud and Bolduc because somebody's going to have to fill that void.
Mm-hmm.
And all the reps that Holloway was getting, all the ice time, it has to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that those are the 2 guys that it could benefit.
Well, ultimately, we were discussing last week, even before Snuggerud's NHL debut, what is his role with this team? How many games is he going to ultimately get? Well, now he's going to get a decent amount of games the rest of the regular season, so he can get acclimated a little bit more into what Jim Montgomery wants him to do, with the Blues. Mm-hmm. And, if Holloway's ready to go by the playoffs, then now he has a little bit of Snuggerud, that is, has a little bit of tenure now, and he can maybe be a player for you. Now he's starting games in the playoffs if he, is up to speed and he feels comfortable, and you feel comfortable having him in the lineup.
Yeah, I don't think it's as injuries happen. Obviously, you don't want it to happen.
It's Dylan Holloway.
Yes, it is, but I'd rather the injury occur now before the playoffs start, and you're playing extremely well. You were able to sustain. You have been able to sustain without Colton Parayko. I'm sure you'll be able to sustain without Dylan Holloway for a couple of weeks. I don't think it's the end of the world.
I think he's back for playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
And if he's back for playoffs,
I don't like how you're staring at me, sir.
I have to.
Why?
To send a message.
What message?
To who?
To Carey.
He's sending a message. I don't know what it is,
though. Battlehawks home openers on Sunday. They'll play the Brahmas, the San Antonio Brahmas. Jamie, I know you remember them.
Yeah.
Because they knocked out our Battlehawks last year and cost us, i.e. me, an opportunity to call at least one play in that championship game.
It's a sad day.
It certainly was a sad day. I think, boys, that I just got a feeling. If you kind of watch at least the clips of the other games from last week, the Battlehawks clearly look the best. Now, I don't know where Houston is at the end of the year.
Texas?
No, I'm sorry. The Roughnecks.
You're correct, Carey.
I don't know. As
About
a team.
3 hours west of Dallas.
Okay.
As a team, I don't know where the Roughnecks are going to be.
Okay.
Besides Houston?
Houston has 2 downtowns.
They do.
They say that, yeah. They have 2 downtowns.
Like Midtown and downtown?
No, they literally say
downtown?
2 downtowns.
Really?
I never understood it, but then when I played there, I was like, oh, yeah, you kind of do have 2 downtowns. 2 areas that are built up. different areas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How far away?
25 minutes.
Okay. Kilometers.
Kilometers is less.
45.
Got it.
I thought kilometers was, I don't know.
I love
2.5 kilometers for a mile.
Okay. Got it.
Good job.
Understood.
Got you. Got you, boo.
The Battlehawks offense, I thought last week, again, we'll have to see if once the competition maybe gets a little stronger, but you got a new offense coordinator, but I thought that what Anthony Beck was trying to accomplish in the offseason by getting a more mobile quarterback, CD, you have that.
Yeah.
You have that up and down the
like
quarterback depth chart.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we saw last week, exactly why Beck wanted to get more mobility at that position. When a play breaks down, and A.J. McCarron was mobile-ish last year, but when a play breaks down, Manny Wilkins can get you out of trouble.
Yeah, and they were able to run the ball really well, I think to the tune of like 270 yards. So you're leaning on your running game, and you don't have to put the ball in the air, but you do have a quarterback that is capable of escaping with his feet. I know Anthony Beck talked about, how dangerous those quarterbacks are, whether you're facing them or if they're on your team. That's one of the things that, as you said, he wanted to have a little bit more of going into this year instead of what we call a statue in the pocket, and A.J. McCarron, who is purely a pocket passer. They are definitely a team. And when we talked to Anthony earlier this week, he was fired up. Like, you could tell in his tone, like he's fired up. I don't know if it's the team that they're playing this week. Like I said, that's the team that took them out of the playoffs last year. So I think he's fired up. I think that team is fired up. And you think you're going to see a team that is playing at a high level and rolling.
I know that the Brahmas, the Battlehawks beat the Brahmas last year, I think it was a 13-12 final. Wade Phillips is their head coach.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know the Brahmas lost last week, and it was ugly. But Wade Phillips is going to have them ready to play. And I think this is a nice early season test for the Battlehawks offense. Because Wade Phillips is going to do some things just like he did in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Whether he shows them something they've never seen before or something schematically is going to happen. And the Battlehawks have got to adjust on the fly. There's got to be some improv this week. We'll see how they handle it. All right, the Gauntlet is next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN is your home for Blues hockey. And every month during the season, you can register to win tickets to an upcoming Blues game. Enter to score free Blues tickets now at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 app.
Brought to you by Ted Drew's. Real custard, real tradition. Ted Drew's. It's St. Louis.
Jamie Rivers here, and if you're thinking about selling...
WXOS, WXOS HD1 East St. Louis. 101 ESPN is driven by Auto Centers Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty and 30-day return.
It's that time again. Time for another Jamie's Jersey giveaway, and this will be the last one of the regular season, and boy, is it one that you're going to want. Robert Thomas signed jersey, and the boys are red hot right now. You're going to want to get this jersey, hang it on your wall, put it on your closet, wear the next game, wear it to the playoffs, baby. And all you have to do is go to 101ESPN.com, sign up there, or visit the 101 ESPN mobile app, register and sign up on there as well. And don't forget, it's Robert Thomas signed jersey. You will love it.
You're in the fast lane, broadcasting live from E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring. 4 warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
4:02, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. We're live at Centene Community Ice Center. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Dominic. What's up, Dominic?
Not too bad. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Thanks for playing. Thanks for listening. You've got all 4 of us as options today. Would you like to take on Jamie, Carey, Marsh, or me?
I got to go with my fellow Dave Matthews Band fan. So it's you, Stalter.
Oh, wow.
Dave Matthews.
Do you actually like them, or are you kind of saying it because I hate them and you hate them and we're kind of brothers now?
No, I actually enjoy them, but I know you don't love them, so I had to throw that in there.
Oh, wow.
But,
It's,
you know.
Well, now
Dave Matthews Band versus anti-Dave Matthews Band.
All
I
right.
like this.
Well, Dominic, good luck to you, my friend.
All right, good luck to you.
All right, we're going to
Thank
send Anthony out into the corridor to walk around aimlessly till we text him, since we don't have an actual cone of silence. What?
I was going to say more. I didn't get him either.
No. So, Bradford in studio, if you can send us the...
He's got to spin the wheel first.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Dominic, tell Bradford to spin the wheel, please.
Hey, spin that wheel.
All right, what are you hoping for?
Really anything's fine.
Okay. Well, Bradford will let us know here as the wheel's coming to a stop. Bradford, what do we got?
Dominic, I want you to approach this trivia a quarter mile at a time. You've got random.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anthony's going to love that.
Okay, so here's how it's going to work. There's 4 questions. If you answer them correctly without the options, you get 2 points. If you use the options and answer it correctly, you get 1 point. If you get it wrong, you get 0 points. If we are tied after 4 questions, we'll have a tiebreaker, and we will get a winner here in the Gauntlet. Dom, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Question number 1. Identify the Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright responsible for creating Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Fences, among other family dramas.
What?
I don't know.
I am going to take the options on that one.
I can't imagine why. All right. Was it Tennessee Williams, Arthur Miller, or August Wilson?
Let's go August Wilson. Final answer.
Question number 2. What is the body's largest solid internal organ?
Let's go large intestine. Final answer.
Question number 3. When did the Soviet Union officially dissolve? We need a year, please.
Let's go options.
Options are 1991, 1992, or 1994.
Let's go 1991. Final answer.
All right, Don, we have reached the end here. Last question. On December 16th, 1965, a holiday classic became the first song ever played in space. Name that tune.
You said 1965?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you give me the options?
Yes. Was it Silent Night, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, or Jingle Bells?
Let's go Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Final answer.
All right. Well, let's get our guy Anthony in here. He's out in the hallway there in the cone of silence thing. How you feeling, Dom?
Those were truly random. I did not know one of those questions at all.
Oh, all right. Anthony, you're back. How was the hallway of silence?
Not so silent.
No?
Yeah, I was talking to a gentleman out there who said his wife is doing something tonight, so he's like, great. I'm going to go check out the hockey action at Sensing Community Ice Center. I said,
Nice.
all right, good for you.
Good call. Good call. All right, Anthony, your category is random, and you should probably pack a lunch.
Okay, I have to one.
Question.
Or eat one of these wings.
The wings here at
Great.
Sensing Community Ice Center are amazing. The chef makes them from scratch.
Yes, his own creation.
They're good.
So good.
Highly recommend.
All right, question one. This is probably the easiest one.
Those are two different things. So it's not one and the other.
What?
If that makes sense.
No,
All right, go ahead.
don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, boy, if you're confused reading the question, I got no shot here.
I read it the right way.
Do you think, brother?
Question one. Identify the Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright responsible for creating Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Fences, among other family dramas. Is that better, Carey?
Yeah.
I'll take the options.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Was it Tennessee Williams, Arthur Miller, or August Wilson?
Tennessee Williams. There's nobody named Tennessee Williams that's going to win a Pulitzer Prize, right? That's more of a, what'd you say, Arthur? Arthur or August?
Arthur Miller or August Wilson?
I don't like Arthur Smith, so let's go August. What is it, Williams?
Wilson.
Wilson. August Wilson.
Final?
Final answer.
Question number two. What is the body's largest solid internal organ?
Options.
Okay. Is it the heart, the liver, or the lungs?
I can't imagine it's the heart compared to the liver. The liver would be bigger than the lungs. I'm going to go with Jamie's favorite organ, which is the liver. Final answer.
Question number 3. When did the Soviet Union officially dissolve? We need the year, please.
Options.
Options are 1991, 1992, or 1994.
I was thinking 1989, so I'll go with 1991. Final answer.
All right, final question. Anthony, on December 16th, 1965, a holiday classic became the first song ever played in space. Name that tune.
A holiday classic played in space. Probably not Rudolph, huh? I'll take the op. Might as well make it 4-4. Options, please.
Was it Silent Night, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, or Jingle Bells?
It's got to be Silent Night, right? That seems like an appropriate one out in space. I'll take that. I'll take Silent Night. Final answer.
Okay. Let's go over these. Question 1. Identify the Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright responsible for creating Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Fences, among other family dramas. Dom, you took the options. You said August Wilson. Anthony, you also took the options and landed on August Wilson. Carey, answer is?
It is August Wilson.
You guys knew it all along.
Nice job, Dominic.
Well done. Let's go to question 4. On December 16, 1965, holiday classic became the first song ever played in space? Name that tune. Dom, you took the options. You said Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Anthony, you took the option and said it's got to be Silent Night. I mean, right? This kind of goes in space. Silent Night. Marshy, answer is?
Anthony, you were onto something, but you're wrong. It's Jingle Bells.
Oh.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. All right, 1-1 after 2. Let's go to question number 3. When did the Soviet Union officially dissolve? Need the year, please. Dom with the options, 1991. Anthony with the options, 1991. Carey, answer is?
1991.
Ooh. All right.
Oh.
All right. We are tied at 2. Heading to the final question. What is the body's largest solid internal organ?
No.
Without the options.
Uh-oh.
Dom said the large intestine, which was not an option.
I got a 1 in 3 shot here,
So
boys.
here's where we're at. Anthony took the option, said the liver. We know that the heart and the lungs were also options. What Dom needs here is for the answer to be the heart or the lungs for a walk-off. Marshy, answer is?
It's Jamie's favorite organ, the liver!
Dom!
You have chosen poorly.
You lose today. Dom, sorry. Anthony got you 3-2 today, buddy.
That was a great battle. Thank you.
Dom, considering we got 5 points, that's you know what? Let's share the victory.
All right.
That was a hard one.
Let's go to a Dave Matthews Band concert. They come to ride, man. Come on.
Nope. My gratitude only extends so far. So thanks for playing, though, man. Thanks for listening.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Good job, Dom.
Thanks.
Man, those were tough. We got a message from the Snake Pit.
Uh-oh.
And let me pull it up here real quick. It was pretty funny. It's from Patrick Shea in the Snake Pit. LOL, in quote from our Anthony Stalter. No one named Tennessee would win the Pulitzer.
It was probably a Tennessee.
Well, 10 did.
2.
He did it twice.
2 different ones? Or
2 times, yeah.
2-time winner. Tennessee Williams.
It just seemed Tennessee Williams. It seems like somebody that would, I don't know.
Sounds like a country music
Totally.
artist.
Not a winner of such prestige.
I don't like you just profiling people based on their name.
It won me, though.
It did. No, it did. It just,
I was wrong. I was right.
Look.
I was right, but I was wrong.
Anthony.
Yeah.
I was right about your favorite organ, though.
How do you know that's my
Actually, I
favorite?
should say your least favorite organ.
Well, actually,
How you treat it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, don't I?
There's a lot of organs I treat poorly.
by the way, the Red Sox are trying to let the Cardinals back in this game.
Yeah, they are.
Throwing the ball all around the yard.
The Cardinals pitching staff, of course, just with a disgusting day. 13 runs for Boston, but the Cardinals have battled back. It's now 13-9. I can't remember. Was it 13-6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entering the inning.
13-8. I don't know. Who can keep up?
I can't find it. To hell with it.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
much.
don't know, but they've been throwing the ball around, airmailing literally everybody, running into each other, bobbling balls.
13-6.
They look like the defense that Anthony thought the Cardinals would be heading into the year.
And
We're talking about
might
the Red
still
Sox.
be.
They could be.
Yeah. You never know. All right. We will, unless this puppy goes to extra innings, we'll have kind of a breakdown of what we saw today between the Cardinals and the Red Sox. Boston is going to its pen. They're trying to wrap this game up, but we will have our observations on this Cardinals game next on 101 ESPN.
You can now listen to 101 ESPN on demand. Get caught up on all our shows and podcasts at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 mobile app. 101 ESPN podcasts are presented by the Schaefer Door Company.
Mosby Building Arts, they are the right remodeling company. And the reason why they're the right remodeling company is because they treat their clients with utter respect. And they also make sure that they have their clients' best interests at heart. What I'm talking about is, if you ever worked with a bad remodeler, right? They come in, they may share some ideas that don't match your style. They don't fit your budget. And, maybe they try to undersell you initially, only to add on some costs and some price later on. That's not Mosby Building Arts. We had the good fortune of working with Mosby. We had some doors replaced within the last couple of months that were causing all kinds of issues in our basement. And we had the big storm, in fact, not too long after Mosby came out and installed the doors, and there was no more leak. The rain was pounding on those doors, but they were brand new, and they held up, and there was no problem in the basement, whereas before it was like a waterfall that was constantly going on in the basement. It was just keep you up at night. Mosby Building Arts, they do a great job with the honest pricing that's up front. There's never any hidden fees. They're not one of these wrong remodeling companies that come in and say it's going to cost you this much initially, and then over time, throughout the course of the project, they start adding cost up. No, not with Mosby Building Arts. So honest pricing, high quality work, trustworthy construction team that you're going to love. They treat your home with respect. I saw that firsthand. And they're friendly. They're dedicated. Mosby's top line. Don't risk hiring the wrong team. Call Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company, at 314-909-1800 or visit callmosby.com. Schedule your free consultation, and then you can see the difference for yourself. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
Acai Bowl lovers, April 6th is National Acai Bowl Day. At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Tropic Rewards members celebrate with $5 off an acai bowl or acai bowl with Nutella. Log into the app on April 6th to redeem your reward. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you have what it takes to beat the Blues? Tune into BK and Ferrario every Monday for your shot to take on a member of your St. Louis Blues in a contest. And you could score a signed puck and tickets to an upcoming Blues game. It's BK and Ferrario's Beat the Blues giveaway every Monday on 101 ESPN. Live from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
I know it's early, but it's kind of fun to be locked into a Cardinals game right now. We are live at Centene Community Ice Center, and we're here for the second shift Puck Cancer Night, where Jamie's going to participate for the Blues alumni against the Blackhawks alumni.
I want to take my hat off to you. Every time you say that, I get nervous.
What?
Second shift Puck Cancer.
I slow down if you notice.
I do, but kudos.
I think you should try to say it as fast as you can.
I don't suggest.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Oh, brother.
So we were.
The old Cardinals are back.
We were locked in here. We were glued to the two TV sets that have the FanDuel Sports Network on, as the Red Sox home opener just concluded. Red Sox win 13-9. But coming into the inning, the Cardinals trailed, 13-6 or 13-7, something like that. And they started to battle back because of this offense. And it actually, thanks to old Rube Baker drawing a walk in a tremendous at-bats against Aroldis Chapman, had the bases loaded for Ivan Herrera. Outside of maybe Lars Nootbaar, is there a Cardinal right now that you would want up more than Ivan Herrera in a base-loaded situation? No, current Cardinals.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad.
No.
Was 2 outs?
Besides maybe Lars Nootbaar? No, there was 1 out.
Oh, yeah, 1 out. John Jay, Daniel Descalso, those guys, they got on base. Game 6, they kept that game going.
Current players on the 25-man. Carey, help me out.
No, they're in the dugout, Anthony. That's what you said.
You know damn well what I mean.
Uniforms on, but they can't play. I don't think. They got uniforms, but they can't play.
I can't believe this.
So it would have to be somebody on the on the current roster.
Oh, gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm with you, brother. I got you.
I appreciate you.
Alec Burleson has been hitting the ball well. Yes. 3 for 4 day.
But still.
But yeah, it would be Lars or it would be Ivan Herrera.
Yeah.
Like he's I'm a little disappointed that he grounded into that double play.
Yeah, so what happened was
send him down.
Herrera hit the ball on the ground, hit it to third base, and his second double play of the day. So the Cardinals fall today to the Boston Red Sox. Good news. Cardinals scored 9. Offense was great. Bad news, the pitching was absolutely horrific at Fenway Park. It was awful from start to finish today. Nobody had a good outing if you were a pitcher that took them out today at Fenway Park. Eric Fetty started the game. In his 3 innings of work, he allowed 5 hits, 6 runs, walked 4, struck out 1. Steven Matz had to take over, and he pitched three innings, so at least from a bulk standpoint, he was in there. 4 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 K. Fernandez gave up 3 earned runs. John King allowed 2 earned runs in just an inning of work. And while Roycroft did not give up any runs, his line wasn't impressive either. In his 1 1/3, he allowed a hit and gave up a walk, issued a walk.
Is Ryan Fernandez the worst bullpen arm right now for the Cardinals?
Yes.
He's given up at least 1 earned run in all 3 of his outings.
He hasn't been good, which is supported by his 14.73 ERA. Now,
is that bad?
It's bad. Relievers, especially earlier in the year, you have one bad outing, or as Marsh would point out, several bad outings.
Oh, pardon me. He's pitched more than 3 games. Yeah.
Clarify.
He has, let's see here. He's 3 2/3 this season. In 4 games, he's given up 6 earned runs, 5 hits. He's walked 3. He's only struck out 1.
Jamie, to answer your question, that's not good.
Okay, thank you.
But where are you guys at right now with this Cardinals team? They're 4-3. This show specifically talks so much crap on this organization, Jamie especially.
What?
Not me.
To me, the fact that they scored 9 runs, look, the pitching was awful. But this offense has been fun to watch.
Yes.
And I didn't have high expectations coming in. So I'm kind of like, all right. At least I'm glued to the TV right now.
Yeah.
We've been here before, guys. And this was a 4-0. This was actually a 13-1 loss.
You remember
a year ago?
You remember the opening day? We were down at Ballpark Village, about
Yes, sir.
43 steps away from Busch Stadium.
No, you called the Ivan Herrera home run.
No.
Why do we have to relive this?
I don't understand that.
That's not what I'm talking
He even
about.
had the last year at the lineup game.
I know.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the game against the Blue Jays.
Yes.
When they scored like 9 runs.
Yep.
And they lost.
Yeah.
Remember how that year went, Anthony? We were like, oh my gosh, this offense is going to be pretty exciting.
But they didn't continue that.
That's fair.
This is 7 games now,
No,
March.
that's fair.
7.
That is very fair. I'm
Seven's
just
the
saying.
number.
He's treating it like it's 40 games.
Trying to
just
glom
saying.
onto something, Jamie.
I know.
The
No, you're
pitching
right.
has been bad for a long time now.
All right, let me ask you this then, Marsh, because you raise a good point. It is a small sample size. Where's the line then? Like, when do you start getting excited?
When do I get excited?
About the offense. I'm not talking about the team.
I am excited about the offense. I'm talking about the team, Anthony.
Then why are you raining on my parade with the offense? All I've talked about is the offense. Then you're like, well, remember last year when we were at Ballpark Village? Like,
No, 2 years ago.
2 years when we were at Ballpark
Yeah, because
Village?
the pitching's terrible. It's a team game, Anthony.
No, I understand that, but I'm just talking about just being excited for one aspect of this team.
I am. I'm
We're
excited.
all acting like we had high expectations now. We didn't.
We had huge expectations. We talked about it all off season, right?
No, we really
We
didn't.
crapped on them consistently.
I'm excited, Anthony. Jeez.
What are you excited about?
I'm excited about the offense and the young players.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know. Maybe we should just talk. So maybe he doesn't know that the pitchers have to pitch as well. Like you can score, but if they allow more runs, consistently, you think?
Yeah.
You think he?
I'm just trying to isolate like one positive.
Okay.
I hope you're not talking about me because that's not what I said.
Oh.
What?
He could hear
Carey
us.
How
don't-
did you hear?
How did he?
I know Carey's speaking really softly right now, like he's whispering to Anthony.
But these
But I can
microphones are
actually
very
hear
good.
you.
Yeah.
I can hear
Bradford,
you.
you're supposed to turn his headset off.
Carey, what you just said is exactly what I just said.
What'd you say?
I said the offense is fun. The pitching stinks.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't believe I heard that.
I don't either. What did you hear, Anthony?
Anthony hears what he wants to hear.
It's his show.
Oh, wow. That's not the first time you've been told that, Anthony.
Probably not the first time today.
Hey, get in line. Come on. If you want to say awful things, get in line.
Yeah, we're way behind.
I have a flash
That's why
pass.
I'm
I'm good.
bulletproof. It just doesn't affect me anymore. No, I think this is, half good and half terrible.
I mean, listen, it is what it is. It is fun to see the offense still be in games. You just mentioned it. We're still glued in. They're down 13-6, and then it's 13-9, and now we're sitting here like, oh, Ivan Herrera might be able to hit a home run and tie the game. Well, he hit into a double.
Who said it, though? Who said, wouldn't it be amazing if Ivan Herrera hit a grand slam?
I did.
This guy.
Super fan.
And now he's like, the pitching stinks. It's a team game. You were excited.
is.
You were excited.
You know who Marshy's starting to remind me of?
Who?
And it all kind of makes sense, okay? The Blues have Joe Boo. They're on this epic run. Oh, my gosh. You know the guy in the stands?
Oh, yeah.
Major League?
Yeah.
These guys are the best. These guys stink.
Turn it into, that's it. Turn it into a parking lot.
That's Marshy.
That's Marshy now, yeah. And at the end, he's gonna come down the stairs singing "Wild Thing." Wild Thing. He's turning his cap around. This isn't sitting well with you, Marsh.
I don't even know what's going on right now. All I'm saying is the offense is fun to watch. They are. I compared it to 2 years ago on opening day when they scored like 9 runs and lost. And why was that? Because the pitching was terrible, and it was all season, and it has been bad. And you've been harping about the pitching for years now before I've even worked here.
Right.
That's how long it's been bad for.
Pitching and defense.
And this is exactly what's playing out right now. They gave up 13 runs today.
It's terrible.
They had one pitcher that didn't give up an earned run today. It's because he
only threw a third.
He threw a third of an inning.
That's a hell of a third.
I said
It really wasn't.
It was.
He walked a guy
and gave up a hit.
I didn't give up a run. Come on.
He wasn't in long enough.
I think that they almost gave up a hit in every inning. They gave up runs in 6 out of
Almost
their 8.
gave up a run in every.
Yeah, it was a rough day. And you mentioned it. Boston had 3 errors. They were literally throwing the ball around the yard, trying to give the Cardinals an opportunity to get back into the game. The pitching, Ryan Fernandez, as you said, has been pretty bad. John King, not great either. He's got a 13.5 ERA in his 2 games that he's pitched. Eric Fetty now is at a 7 ERA after today's start. Like it's.
Not
somebody
great.
texted in earlier. Only if they had some young pitching somewhere.
Well, they
Probably
do.
me.
It's in Memphis. But, you got to make sure that Miles Michaelis and Eric Fetty and whoever get their starts.
We got a text from the 618. It's like you guys can't wait until they lose a game. I mean, let's look back 2 years. Really? I'm out.
What the...
Peace.
What the fast? I was the only in a 13-9 game. I was the only one that was positive. You know what? Fast lane yourself. Go fast lane yourself. 314
618.
618. Sorry, 314. I apologize. That's on me. I got a little hot. That's on me.
Where's
618.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Was he ever in?
Are you out on? I think he's out on us.
No.
I've been positive in a 13-9 loss for 7 minutes, and then you still get this guy.
So
chiming in.
This is why I said at the beginning of the season, you
guys
all
can't be positive.
And I
Get
speak
out.
about all of you all.
What?
You three. They went on a 3-game winning streak. They won the first series. They swept their first season. You guys were. I said, I'm just going to stay here.
You better not talk about the even keel.
I'm even keel.
Oh,
I don't have a.
My name's Carey. I don't ever get excited. I don't ever get angry. I
just be
even keel.
Just stay even keel.
That is horrible.
It'll work its way. It'll work itself out.
I'm not listening anymore because my favorite team gave up 13 runs, and you guys are talking about it. I'm sorry. 13 runs. It's not like it was a 6-5 game. It was 13-9.
That's a lot of bad pitching.
13, that's a football score.
If we don't talk about it, then they're going to call us. You guys are idiots. You don't even realize their pitching stinks.
You guys are on the Blues payroll. They didn't play that well last night, but they still won. You're talking about them. They gave up 13 runs.
And lost.
In fairness, Marsh, if
But they scored 9.
If Fetty doesn't give up 5 in the first, it's only 8, and then we win.
That's a good point, Anthony.
Very good point.
Yeah, hang on. Let me look at this box score.
You know what I mean?
Because maybe if they don't give up, let's
That's a really good point.
5 in the 7th and 8th, they win.
Exactly. All right, it's Fastlane. There you go. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Our Sports Six-Pack is next, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you have any great questions and you're still around, unlike the 618, text in. We'll answer your questions next on 101 ESPN.
All right, Anthony, you're starting to irritate me with this.
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-500-5000.
Join your favorite personalities from 101. Give us your opinion on the Air Comfort Service heating, cooling, and insulation text line at 314-399-9646 on 101 ESPN. 101 ESPN Sports Center.
Week to week for Holloway. Good afternoon. I'm Bradford Brunson. This Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet plus Johnny Londoff Autoplex. As confirmed by Doug Armstrong last hour, Blues forward Dylan Holloway is now considered week to week after leaving Thursday's 5-4 overtime win versus Pittsburgh. Number 81 only logged 8 shifts in the first period before being sidelined by a lower body injury. St. Louis nonetheless trying to win its 12th straight tomorrow versus Colorado. Puck drop set for 6 right here on 101 ESPN. Baseball, we just discussed the final in Boston. Cardinals fall 13-9 in their road opener despite bagging out 13 hits. One of those came from Ivan Herrera, the catcher, belting his 4th homer already of 2025. The Sports Center update was driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
Live from the Centene Community Ice Center here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. It's time for our Sports Six-Pack. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, and Anthony Stalter. Bradford Braun's doing an excellent job in our studios back home. Bradford, question 1, please.
Question number 1.
All right, we get a question from the 573. What is your most valuable piece of sports memorabilia that you own?
Oh.
Well,
I mean, apart from my own stuff?
Of course.
Of course.
Right, yeah.
And Carey, I assume it's your Super Bowl ring. So
Yeah,
if it's something
other than
else,
that, I got a.
It's not really memorabilia though. That's.
I got a signed Gale Sayers picture to me. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's. I don't know if it's value. I don't know the value of it.
no, just the value. It's valuable to you.
I like that one.
I've got just from a personal standpoint. I got a Chris Duncan signed baseball that I keep up in our home office there. That is, it's very valuable to me. Having worked all those years with Dunk and getting to know him as a close, dear friend of mine. Of course, I miss Dunk every day, so that's valuable to me. My wife Kristen also got me a Matt Ryan signed football when we got married.
What? Nice. Still have that?
He's Hall
After
of
what
Famer.
he did to you?
Is he a Hall of Famer?
What did he do?
Is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
I don't think so.
If Joe Flacco isn't, neither is Matt Ryan.
He had a great career. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, though. Maybe borderline.
For me, I've got a couple of things signed by Brett Hull, Wayne Gretzky stick. Kind of cool. I've got a hockey stick signed by Ozzy Osbourne. That's kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
I've got another, like a hockey blade signed by all the members of KISS.
Nice.
So those are kind of cool.
Yeah, I got a couple signed jerseys. I didn't think of that. I had a signed magazine from Troy that I gave away.
What kind of magazine?
It was ESPN magazine on the cover. Yeah.
Wondering. What you reading?
You gave it away?
I gave it away, yep.
Do you have anything signed by Troy?
Nope. Should have kept it.
Should reach out to him.
You should.
I'm probably.
Ask him to send a lock of his hair. He won't, he won't find that weird at all.
Yeah, find that very weird. I also have a.
Tell me you bought a special locket for it.
Very weird. Like CD? No, thank you. I have a Monopoly game, but it's like with the Steelers players, and I'm on the Monopoly board. So it's like, the Vermont and Park Place and all of that.
Are you Davis Way or?
No, it's like Carey Davis.
Yeah.
But it's on the first row, so it's not It's not Park Place. That's
so you're like
that's Antonio.
Are you the
Park Place and Boardwalk.
more affordable?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it's not Mediterranean. It's not the first
whoa.
That's the name of the place.
Those are good investment properties.
They are, but it's not
Startups.
that. Those are startups.
Hey.
It's the one right after that.
Okay.
Yeah, after the first railroad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my guy Willie Colon.
It's not small. It's quaint.
It's nice.
It's got character.
It's
Character.
Still, you can afford.
It's not old. It's got character.
It's affordable.
Yes.
You know, it's affordable housing. You
Absolutely.
can live there and good area ish.
What about you, Marsh?
Well, I have my Adam Wainwright puzzle.
Absolutely.
And,
thanks to Gator.
Yeah, my new Alec Burleson bobblehead. Let's see. I do have a bunch of McFarlanes, if you remember what those are.
Oh, yeah.
That I never opened. Even as a child, I was always like, I'm not going to open these. I feel like they might have some value, like, later in life. And so I have a tub of probably like 50 of these things. I got like Dominic Hasek, I have Stevie Y holding the Stanley Cup, and they're all still in the plastic covering. So
nice.
At some point I will sell those when I need to, but I'm going to hold on to them for a little bit. I have, Al McInnes signed picture. I really don't know, some of the stuff that I have. They're all in tubs right now. So, but you were telling me the other day that you had your Babe Ruth baseball actually stolen from you, and then there's some slobber on it when you got it back. And you actually got a 1920s Murderers Row ball as well.
With all of them on there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was disappointed that my Baby Ruth ball got stolen and played with by my ungrateful son. But but yeah, that Yankees Murderers Row ball, I was happy about.
Yeah, it definitely made up for it, right?
Yep. Question 2, please.
Question number 2.
All right, this one comes from
It's a Friday.
My ungrateful son. Which one? No.
Yeah, that's why I didn't specify.
All right, Grant Francis fan club. In the NHL, is it better to stand pat at the trade deadline and instead rely on building your team well before the stretch run?
Well, it depends what situation your team's in. Like, what team are we talking about?
Well,
are we
obviously
talking
we have
about a
the
team that's supposed to be a contender?
Yes,
are we
true.
talking about a rebuild? Are we talking, what are we doing here?
Well, so one thing that comes to my mind is your team with the Ottawa Senators. You guys were a wagon, right? And then you brought somebody in, and it kind of disrupted things.
We brought in 3 or 4 guys, and it definitely disrupted the chemistry.
Do you
And
think
we
your
didn't
team
bring
would
in
have
the
been
right
better?
guys either?
Do you think your team would have been better if you would have stayed pat?
Probably.
Stand
Although,
pat?
when I said we didn't bring in the right guys, I meant the pieces that would help the team. They were unbelievable dudes. One guy, Mike Sillinger, is here today playing in the Blues fantasy camp, and he'll play tonight in the puck cancer game. Curtis Lesician, unbelievable dude. We brought in some Eric Lacroix, who played in Colorado. We brought him in. Great dude. But what we didn't bring in is what we needed was more toughness. And that's what happened. We played Toronto Maple Leafs the first round, and they had Darcy Tucker, Shane Corson, Ty Domi, Gary Roberts, Dave Manson. The list goes on and on of guys who are tough players. And this was before the rule changes. So I remember Shane Corson literally mauling Alexei Yashin. Just every shift, face washing him, trying to drive his head into the ice, tackling him. It was horrible stuff. And then you try to counter that, but it was me and Shane Knighty were the 2 guys. What are you going to do? You're outnumbered every shift, and we're not playing every shift against Matt Sundin and the guys that matter.
Yeah.
So we acquired guys, unbelievable dudes, really good hockey players. It just wasn't the right guys for what we needed. Had they just left it alone, probably would have been better off. So yeah, it depends on what your team needs, and let's just use this year's Blues team for example. Really, Army could have been a seller because at the time when the trade deadline happened, you were still you really weren't in it.
Right.
You weren't. And then you lost
Parayko the day before. Yeah.
And Army stood pat, and look at now.
Yeah.
So I think it all depends on the group that you have, and that is the heartache or the toughness that you have to go through when you're a president or a GM of a team is you got to be able to figure out your own team before you have to worry about what other teams have that you need.
Yeah. All right, let's do our part 2 of the Sports Six Pack coming up. So keep those questions coming in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We're live at Centene Community Ice Center for the second shift puck cancer event.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Jamie's playing tonight, so Jamie, actually, I think this is your last segment,
This
right?
is, yeah.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
so
have to get limbered up a little bit.
yeah, of course, absolutely.
How you going to do that?
Probably Bud Select.
Cool.
What?
What does your dynamic stretch look like?
Okay. He'll tell you in the break. Part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack next on 101 ESPN.
Yeah.
The Blues play on ESPN.
Shoots, he scores!
Tomorrow, Blues and Avalanche. Pre-game at 5, puck drop at 6.
The wait is over!
Your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring. I have a question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, Sports Six-Pack continues. Question 3, please. And Marsh, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
All right. Question 3, please, Brad.
Question number 3.
Jason from the Snake Pit, Jason Gordon from the Snake Pit, he asked a Sports Six-Pack question. He says, would Anthony like to comment on Bryce Harper's comments on the Dodgers? Oh. Quote, anyone who complains about the Dodgers and what they're doing are losers.
Who said that?
Bryce Harper.
Oh, boy.
That's what I said.
2 comments. 1, Bryce Harper's got as many World Series rings as I do. Number 2.
Wow.
Number 2, the Phillies have spent more on their active roster than even the Dodgers, so they kind of fall in the same category.
But whoever's
This isn't
complaining
somebody
about
from
the
the
Dodgers.
Pirates saying it. It's the Phillies who are doing the same exact thing.
Question?
Yes, Jamie.
Could it also be that the MLBPA has started to talk to their players and tell them that the message needs to be that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the current landscape of the league?
Right.
And so Bryce Harper, who's a pretty well-known baseball player, saying, this is stupid. Why are we talking about this? What they're doing is nothing wrong. That's almost like putting the line in the sand. Hey, owners, did you hear that? We love what's going on.
Right, of course.
That to me seems more plausible.
Yeah. The other thing, and this is what I continue to say about this, is like, hey, when people stop watching your sport, then you'll care. Marchie, question 4, please.
Oh, boy.
Question number 4.
Oh, boy.
Anthony, I loved how genuine you were with that because Bryce Harper's one of your favorite players.
I love Bryce Harper. It actually pained me a little bit. Yeah. Bryce Harper, one of my favorite current players. I love watching him play.
I love my brother, too, but every now and then you got to set him straight.
That's a great point.
Come on.
That's a great point.
Yeah, he's 4 years older than me.
You set him straight, or he set you straight?
Oh, I drive him bananas. Like insane. He wants to smash his head off a wall. Sean's very detailed. Like he has a little itinerary for everything, like that, and I don't. And so I purposely act like I have no idea what we're doing. I'd be like, well, I don't understand. Like, what time do we have to be there? I sent you an email. I'm like, what email? I've got 3. It drives me nuts.
Suddenly, Jamie, you one time told me this. It was, I don't know, a couple years ago, and now I'm starting to see it a little bit. You said that I remind you of Sean.
Yes, certain things you do.
Now all of a sudden I feel Sean's pain.
I do the same stuff to you too sometimes.
Anthony, what are we talking about next?
Nah, really?
I just teased it.
What's your problem,
It's on
man?
your rundown.
What's your problem?
What's your problem? Yeah. I don't like your attitude today.
All right, we get a question from Diddles the Piddles.
Oh, boy.
What's the most heated interview one of you guys have been a part of?
Ooh. Wow, this is interesting because it could go one of 2 ways for you guys because you could have been involved in a heated exchange.
Yeah, no, I never was. I really wasn't. The media was always pretty nice to me.
Yeah. I haven't had anything on air that I can think of. Well, it wasn't. I don't think it was that bad. It was one individual that argued with me about a specific play. He had never played the game, and I explained to him, sir, this actually happened to me in the game. That never happened to you. It doesn't happen. I said, no, it did.
I was there.
And that's the rule. Hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Again, sir, I was actually on the field when this particular event took place. It's a rule. It can't happen. Yeah, you and the refs don't. All right, well, somebody's dumb here, and it ain't me.
So
yeah.
Yeah, so that's funny.
Can you share
I'll tell
that?
you later.
All right.
Anthony, that actually happened to me right here in this studio. It was me and BK, the Ribs and BK show. And we had a certain guest on, baseball guest, very well known at 101 ESPN.
Is he a Tool?
Yeah.
5-tool player.
Got it. Yeah, 5-tool player.
And
Yes.
we were talking about young players and what it feels like to go into the locker room, the clubhouse.
I remember this.
And this person has never been in a locker room in his life as an athlete, ever. And he was trying to tell me, and I corrected him. I said, well, actually, and he's like, no, you don't understand. And I went, you're right. I don't understand at all. So much for the 14 years I was in a friggin' locker room. And I took my headset off, put it down, and I walked out. I looked at BK. I said, if I stay on the headset, I'm going to say something I shouldn't say.
Yeah.
And BK was like, all right, yeah. But yeah, what a donkey. Like, I get you.
Some guys
you can have your opinion, but like
just state the opinion.
Like Carey's saying, if you're trying to tell me how it really happens, but you've never done it, be like me trying. I got a video game. I got a PlayStation 5 at home. The game called Flight Simulator, right? I'm going to tell a pilot or a fighter pilot how a certain maneuver should work.
Right.
What do you think they're going to say to me?
Yeah, not much.
They're going to just be like, no, if I keep arguing that they're wrong.
Then they'll shut you down.
It's like it's the same concept, just anything in life. Like if I tried to tell a guy how to do my patio, a guy who's an expert at concrete, and I'm sitting there like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing that wrong? I watched a YouTube video.
How much rock are you putting in that concrete? Yeah.
Like respect people's professions and their knowledge. That's all I would say to that.
I've been lucky, man. I've never been I don't think I've ever been a part of a really heated exchange with somebody. And there's been opportunities too, because when I was at WDFN in Detroit covering the Pistons, if you remember, it was Ben Wallace, it was Rasheed Wallace. I mean, there's some characters, but they were so good that there wasn't a lot of, hey, what went wrong tonight?
Right.
But being in those locker rooms, again, the opportunities were present. There was one time, you remember Jim Mora, the son?
Yeah.
Not playoffs, but
Jim Mora.
Yeah, he was
Atlanta coach.
Yeah. So the first time I was in, I used to have to go to the road locker room for the Lions games and get interviews and things like that. And the Falcons were in town. They got smoked by the Lions. And Mora was hot. And he kind of, like, I was in the back of the room when he came in for his presser. And he kind of he kind of bumped me or kind of shoved me out of the way a little bit. Really? I'm like 24 or whatever. I looked up and saw it was him. I'm like, oh, man. Ironically, I saw him when I was working in Bristol. He sat right down next to me. And he was eating chips and stuff like that because he just got done being on TV. He's like, hey, man, what's up? I'm like, this is weird. I told him. I'm like,
no way.
He's like, oh, geez, I'm sorry. He's like, I remember that game. That was rough. That was John Kitna, right? John Kitna. I'm like, it was. He lit you up that day. And he's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. He couldn't have been cooler, but at the time it was funny. Lawyer Malloy was also, do you remember Lawyer?
Yeah,
Carey?
I do.
That's a bad dude.
Yeah.
I remember being in the scrum when Lawyer Malloy, after a loss, was talking. I thought he was going to stab each and every one of us just with his look. I was like, I'm not asking a question. You guys got this, right? I'll just get the audio. But I don't think I've been a part of any heated exchanges, especially here on 101. I mean, we get pretty good guests. If anything, they're boring.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. If anything, they're boring. You just let them go.
I find it weird when, like, coaches are frustrated about their teams playing. People ask them, like, you're watching the same crap we're watching, man. Like,
Carey, they're looking for the soundbite. They're looking for the soundbite.
You're watching what are we not supposed to ask?
They're waiting for the meltdown.
You all are struggling in the manner in which you are. Like, it's part of your job. It's part of the profession. Like, understand it, deal with it, and move on.
You want to make those millions as a head coach of a professional sport? Answer the dang questions.
You got to answer
right. Yep. You want to do one more?
Yep.
Let's do one more.
I'd be really curious.
Question number 6.
Curious, okay.
Oh, no, that was Keith Law.
we don't
Nice
know
job,
if it was
Bradford.
actually him,
Bradford's so smart. He just did something perfect and went right over our idiot heads.
All right, real quick here from 619. Out of the whole crew, who would have the fastest 40?
Oh.
Right now?
Probably.
I think I still
Carey.
would be able to run.
Yeah.
I think
one time I think we could.
Listen, that's what I was going to say. One and done. We're not running more than one, but I could probably still pick them up and put them down.
I know Marsh is a really well. I think. I mean, obviously, you guys are professional athletes. Marsh and I are decent, weekend warriors.
Marsh is young.
I've never seen Marsh run.
Young.
I've never seen Marsh run.
That's the kick right there.
That's the part that concerns me.
Got long legs.
No, I did run track in elementary school.
Oh,
okay.
Form?
I would say Carey. I would say Marsh is the top contender to Carey. What was your 40 at Illinois?
4.6. I ran a 4.6 consistently. 4.5 was my fastest time. I ran that when I was in Atlanta.
And that's like 2:15, 2:20?
2:40.
Oh, man.
2:35, 2:40.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll go Carey.
Yeah. If I stretched and maybe took a couple jogs back and forth, I could probably get her going. But I mean,
I would be more worried about tearing something at this point.
Yeah.
Like one
For
good
sure.
Yeah.
out of there. Like I don't think that'd be. But I think I got one. I got one good sprint in me. I was supposed to race my son this past week. He didn't think he won at 9.
No, that makes sense.
I did race, so I was coaching his team last year, and into practice one day we lined it up. I said, "All right, let's go." I smoked all of them. Now they're all 11 and 12.
But still,
I don't let anybody win. Yeah,
but still, they lost.
A win's a win, Carey.
A win's a win. That's right.
I felt good.
Yeah.
Jamie, speaking of which, stay healthy tonight.
That's
have
right.
fun.
Yeah, we will definitely have fun.
All right. So Jamie, who will be on the FanDuel Sports Networks for tomorrow's Blues game. He's playing in the Puck Cancer second shift alumni game tonight against the Blackhawks. So, Jamie, good luck to you, man. Bring home a winner.
I'll try. Let's see what we do.
And be careful out there, of course.
Have fun and be careful out there.
Make sure if you need to clear the puck out of the zone, Anthony is in the building.
Yes. Yeah, if you guys need any last second
You know what? I'll
tips.
run it by the guys.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I appreciate that.
They'll be pretty receptive, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Are we watching as the future and present are now colliding for this Blues team? That's next on 101 ESPN.
WXOS HD1 East St. Louis 101 ESPN is driven by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm.
He was just named our 101 ESPN Blues Fan of the Week.
Submit your pick now to be the next 101 ESPN Blues Fan of the Week and take home a pair of tickets to an upcoming Blues game. Learn more at 101ESPN.com.
I know that the rain is bad right now in St. Louis, but if you're looking for a new ride or you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, there's no better spot than my friends at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. In just one location, they have over 800 new and used vehicles, again, all in one spot. So if you're looking for a vehicle, whether it's a new Nissan, like the Nissan Pathfinder, which is what I'm driving right now. My wife's got a Nissan Pathfinder. We love it. We love the third row. We love the way it drives. But they've got smaller vehicles, too. They've got the Rogue. They've got the Nissan Altima. Whatever you're looking for, Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum can hook you up. Tell them Stalter sent you. New Nissans get a complimentary lifetime warranty and a 30-day return promise. Serious peace of mind coverage that you're not going to find anywhere else. If your credit has seen better days, no problem. They're so confident at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum that anybody walks through the door can drive home with a new Nissan and get that puppy finance. The best financing department that you're going to find in any dealership here in St. Louis. So check them out online at AutoCentersNissan.com. Check out that massive selection there. And then when you head down to Herculaneum, again, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan. Big inventory, bigger savings, zero nonsense.
The wait is over. Your St. Louis Battlehawks are back. On Sunday, April 6th, the Battlehawks host the San Antonio Brahmas for their home opener at the Battle Dome at America Center. Then 1 week later, home game number 2 will see the Battlehawks host the DC Defenders on April 13th. It's a new season and time to show the United Football League that CAW is the law. Get all the ticket info for the Battlehawks' first 2 home games and find a chance to win a free 4-pack of tickets for both games right now, either at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app.
In the Fast Lane, broadcasting live from E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
It took a while, Marsh, but Carey finally said, "What are we doing?"
Yep.
Took a while. Been a while. 5:07, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie had to go limber up for tonight's alumni game. We're at Centene Community Ice Center for the second shift puck cancer event. It's going to be a great night here at Centene as the Blues alumni will take on the Blackhawks alumni. With Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh and Anthony Stalter. And guys, when we were watching last night, and really it's not just last night, it's watching this unfold with this 11-game win streak. I really think that the future and the present right now for the Blues are mashing together, are colliding together in the best way possible. You've got young players that are stepping up, and unfortunately Dylan Holloway now, if you're just joining us, he's week to week with a lower body injury, so we'll see how that plays out. But Jimmy Snuggerud last night records his first point. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was really neat that if you didn't have the sound on and you were just watching the game, when Snuggerud had the assist on the Jake Neighbors goal, you would have thought that Snuggerud scored the goal. That's a tight group. That's a tight group that's aware of what's going on with Jimmy Snuggerud, that has clearly welcomed him in, knowing that they're going to need him to play at his best if they're going to make a playoff, continue to make a playoff push. I thought that was cool last night. But just overall, I think we're seeing this young group mixed with the core group, and we're seeing this retool come to fruition right in front of us right now. I love what we're seeing out of the Blues. It's not just the 11-game winning streak, which has been thrilling. It's the fact that we are now seeing the present and the future collide.
I agree. I think they are – I think you tip your cap to Army. He's done a great job of, we talked about what do you do at the trade deadline. That was one of the sports six-pack questions, depending on who you are. They didn't feel the need to make any big moves. They made moves in the offseason. They made moves during the season. They did the things that they needed to do to be in this place right now. They made a move with their head coach, right, that no one expected. Like, whoa, you just hired Bannister. Now you're firing him and bringing in Jim Montgomery. And, some people I'm sure were like, they don't know what the hell they're doing. But they hired the right coach. They got the right players, and they're going in the right direction. And it took some time. It took a couple of different coaches, a couple of different mindsets and philosophies, and for this group to buy in. But I think they do have the right core, the right group, and they're fun to watch. And I can't say that they were fun to watch last year or the year before. They were just there. Mm-hmm. I remember talking to Jamie when I went to his house to watch the Four Nations championship game, the gold game, and so I was like, man, watching this is so much different than watching the Blues. It's more open.
That's right. Those one of your takeaways.
The passing is crisper. It just looks better. And then lo and behold, as soon as that Four Nations face-off ended, the Blues started playing in ways that felt more like they were more connected. They're passing better. They're checking. They're doing all of the minor detailed things that are usually related to teams that are winning. Mm-hmm. And prior to, it's amazing, like as a coach, it feels good to put on film and say, when I tell you to do something and you do it, it damn works, doesn't it? When you don't, it doesn't. How does that? That's amazing, isn't it? You don't know more than me. So I'm sure Jim Montgomery had a couple of nights where he just sat back like, finally.
Yeah.
They're figuring it out. But I do. I think the younger players, the new core, and then the older players, the captain and guys that have been around for a longer time, I think they're all gelling really well.
Well, isn't that the recipe, though, for a team that is building towards being a winning, having sustained success. We played that audio from Armstrong yesterday when he appeared on BK and Ferrario this week. Isn't that the recipe, though, where you usher in the new players while you're also building your team?
Yeah, that's the hope, right?
So, I would look at it from, a 3-tier system. You have your wily veterans. I look at the D-core right now. I look at Braden Shen. Those are the guys that are the dudes who have been around for a while. They know what it is, or they know what it's like to be older players, and they have a ton of experience. And then you have your guys who are somewhat in the middle, right? They're still young players, but they've been in the league for a few years, and they're still figuring things out, but they're also playing good hockey as well. Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou, I'll throw Jake Neighbors in there. There's a lot of players in that tier 2 category. Mm-hmm. And then you have your younger guys who are learning from them. Right. Now you have Jimmy Snuggerud, Zach Bolduc. You could throw maybe Tyler Tucker in there. He's been there for a couple of years, though. But I think what they're doing right now is the recipe to finding that sustainable success within the NHL. And you could apply this to any team in any league.
Yeah, you hope that. What you just described, Marsh, and we'll just kind of call it tiers, right? The veteran players that you add as hopefully the last pieces to a, veterans. Then you've got, like you said, your core pieces, and then your young guys. You hope it all kind of meshes together. Carey's not always like that, though. No. For a lot of teams, it's well, we've got this really young core that we're excited about, but it's not ready. Right. And then we've got this overpaid core that's not playing up to its contract. And how do we bridge the gap? Yeah. And I think that in 3 moves, Army has bridged the gap. Yeah. And the 3 moves were Broberg, Holloway, and Montgomery. And he bridged the gap between where they want to be, where they are, and where they, those two, where they are now and where they want to be. Right. He bridged the gap.
I agree. I think, and to Marsh's point, that 3 tiers is extremely important, because that second tier of guys, when that first tier retires or their contract is up and they go elsewhere, they sign elsewhere because they're older and it's time for them to get paid or move on, they just move up. And then that last tier moves up to the second. And then your draft picks that you draft this year or last year that have been in the system for a couple of years, now they're ushering up into that spot. And that's essentially how it should go.
Right.
When you have a good organization, you make sure that you have your veteran group, you have your core of star players, and then you have your young, hopefully soon to be star players, and you can keep winning in that way. And if you're able to do that, it's special. The only thing I would say about, I love the Blues winning streak. We talked about it earlier. Closing out games, not allowing goals to be scored with under a minute. That can't happen.
Yeah.
And it's happened multiple times to this team. Jamie talked about the 6-on-5 play when they are, when the opposing team pulls their goalie, they have to find a way to get the puck out of the zone. They have to find a way to score goals when you have a man advantage. You cannot, especially come playoff time, right? Because you're going to be playing better teams. I don't know why this Penguin team plays them very hard.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're another team, you should look at whatever the Penguins are doing.
Really
There's got to be
hard.
something.
Yeah, they do something, but come playoff time, if you're fortunate enough to make it in, you're going to be playing the top teams in the league, and you're going to have to find ways to close out games. You're going to have to play hard, the entire 60 minutes if you want to win.
That's Carey Davis. That's Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Talked a lot of Blues today. Talked a lot of Cardinals. But, guys, we got a Final Four tomorrow. You guys want to talk a little basketball? Who do we all have advancing to the national championship game in the NCAA tournament? We'll tell you next on 101 ESPN.
St. Louis Blues hockey can be heard exclusively on 101 ESPN. Get the info you need before and after every Blues game with a First Community pre- and post-game show.
First Community Credit Union, calling St. Louis home for 90 years and powered by Scott Lee Heating Company.
from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Final Four is tomorrow. You've got Houston playing Duke, and you've got Florida playing Auburn. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN Live from Centene Community Ice Center. I'm Anthony Stalter. Alongside me is Carey Davis, Super Bowl champion, and Andrew Marsh. And Marsh, I want to start off with you.
Ooh.
Because you have been disappointed / frustrated over this NCAA tournament. And rightfully so. There hasn't really been the true underdog story. There's been some really close games, but you seemingly are somebody, and a lot of people are like this way, you need that. You need at least one Cinderella.
Yeah.
Is there anything that the final 3 games can do to have you feeling like, you know what, even without the underdog, this is a good tournament, or is it over?
I would like, so I'm kind of past. I think for me, I look at it in 2 different ways. I almost look at it as like 2 different tournaments. You have everything leading up to the Final Four, and then you have the Final Four.
Okay.
So now we're at the Final Four. We have all 1 seeds. I would like these games to be competitive, to be close. I don't need a double-digit win, or even like, I'd like it to be, and this is a personal preference, bare minimum 2 score game at the end of it. All the games.
2 score game.
Like 6 points.
Okay.
It's got to be a 2-possession game.
Got it.
So
free throw. So another team, they sink some free throws.
It's like if one team wins by 9, dude,
you're out.
I'm out.
I would assume that we get some close games.
I would assume so too. Now that we have the best 4 teams left, they should all match up pretty well. I still believe. Geez, what is going on right now?
I think we're right below the.
It must be Jamie.
Weight.
Must be working out right now.
The weight room.
So, I think Florida and Duke are probably going to win these games and meet up and play on Monday night for the national championship, which would be great. Now that it's the top 4 teams, to me, those 2 teams are the most intriguing for me. So I hope that's what we end up getting. But, man, it would be nice if we got like a buzzer beater or something in the Final Four, or, it came down to a last shot and maybe somebody missed or something crazy happened. Like, just give me some sort of entertainment that goes beyond like the full game.
Yeah.
So, because I want there to be a moment, like, when Villanova. One shining moment. Like when Villanova won the national championship against UNC.
Hit the buzzer beater.
Oh, man.
Dude, we had
that game was incredible. It was
name?
Chris Jenkins, yeah.
He
now plays defensive tackle for the Bengals.
I don't think that's the same. Okay.
I believed you for a second.
There is a Chris Jenkins.
Yeah. But before that, people may forget, like, UNC hit a massive 3-pointer to tie that game.
Yeah.
Like, that was fun. Like, Duke Butler, remember that game?
Yes.
Came down to the final shot. They ended up missing, but you're like, oh, my goodness. Like, if the games can come down to the final minute, I'll be happy.
Like last night's, was it the NIT? I don't know if you guys saw the highlights of it. It was, I think it was Chattanooga versus UC Irvine. And UC Irvine had the Hail Mary play drawn up. You got to see this, Marsh. So they threw it all the way down the court. One of their players caught it and immediately got it back to one of their players who's right under the rim. He doesn't go glass. I mean, he's wide open. Doesn't go glass.
Hits it off the back of the
Hits
rim.
it off the back of the rim. Out. They lose.
No.
I mean, the play was perfect.
But, like, that's something that you're like, what? Because we're all talking about it.
Exactly.
What have we talked about this tournament?
We talked
flag.
Yeah. So here's my other question.
But you expected him to play good.
I did. I expected him, and
you haven't been surprised by the storylines.
I expect. So for me, I think the Final Four. We were talking to someone, or I was listening to someone talk about it. The tournament is about which team has experience and which team has been there, done that. And I think it also matters who those teams have played leading up to this spot. I think Houston has had a really good run of teams that they had. They played the runner-up from last year's tournament in Purdue. They played a Gonzaga team that's always tough every year. And then they played the number 2 team in Tennessee and were able to beat them to make it to the Final Four. I don't know if Houston is battle tested or if they're just in those games and it's close because maybe they're not as good. And then on the flip side, I look at Duke and say, well, they kind of been running through people because they, to me, are probably the best team in the country. I'm going to be intrigued to watch them play as well. And then on the other side, Auburn looked great, but then their best player injured his elbow. How healthy is he? Is Brahms able to listen? You would have to cut the arm off. For me. Like it's no way. it would literally have to be off in order for me to not play in that game for an opportunity to win a national championship. And I'm sure he's the same way. But you got 2 SEC teams battling against each other. Which one of those teams come out of there? I think there are storylines. I don't think it necessarily has to be the Cinderella story where a team is pushed, because those are, granted, this is the first time that it's happened in 15, 20 years that you have all number 1 seeds, but it's very rare for one of those. If St. Peter's makes it to the Elite 8, they're going to get walked at some point.
And I'm not looking for, I know you bring up like the Cinderella thing. I'm not looking for a 15 to 12 seed to make it to the Final Four. If it happened, that's a great story. I'm looking for like
an
just
Elite 8 appearance.
Great like fun finishes to these games. And like
that Auburn game was fun.
Yeah,
that Auburn game that they won was a really good game against, who did they play? Was it Michigan State?
Michigan State.
I thought that was a really good game and it was a 5-point game, 4-point game, like down to the end.
But it felt like a 10-point game the entire time.
Yeah.
Because I was also watching, I'm like, oh, okay, like, Auburn, they're losing their guy here for a stretch. Is he going to be gone the entire game? Well, he comes back. Michigan, it just seemed like they could never really close the gap until, late in the game, but it never really felt like they were going to come back.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That to me, when Brahms did go out, Michigan State, I felt like, okay, I think they were down 10.
They were,
when he hyperextended his elbow and his knee and his ankle all on one play.
Oh my gosh, that looked tough.
And I don't know. He's very bendy. I don't know how you're able to bounce back from that. But I did think Michigan State, I'm like, oh, this is their chance.
I
Tom
agree.
Izzo is the coach. Like, they're going to come back and win this game.
So you bring up something I was just going to bring up. You talk about Tom Izzo, and I might not be able to sell you on this, Marsh, but one thing that we were talking about in the spread zone, and Action Jackson brought this up, and I think it's interesting. If you look at the Final Four coaches, there's storylines built in there. So you've got Duke's coach, John Shire, who's trying to get out of, obviously, the one of the biggest shadows ever in Mike Krzyzewski. You've got Todd Golden, who's been embattled at Florida. You've got Kelvin Sampson at Houston. They've always had good teams under Sampson. Can't get over the hump. And then you've got Bruce Pearl at Auburn.
Right, and they were just in the Final Four not too long ago.
And he has yet to get good teams.
He's had his own history of things.
I don't know if the storylines can be the coaches necessarily.
It shouldn't be, right?
It is kind of interesting.
And that's where we're at with college basketball.
The other storyline, if we were to say, hey, what is the one storyline that is most intriguing to you? And we'll do one in each game, and then we'll get to some predictions. I think the most intriguing storyline of the entire Final Four is the clash of styles between Duke and Houston. Houston, obviously, and Houston, this is a much better shooting Houston team than Kelvin Sampson has had. Defensively, incredible. But Duke is so good. They have had the most impressive tournament. But can Houston play its game and finally test Duke like they have not been tested yet?
Duke is good.
Duke is, again, they've been the most impressive. Yeah. But, Carey, I thought you brought up something interesting about the road to the Final Four. Florida has been tested almost every game. And Walter Clayton Jr. has had ice in his veins. It's almost like he gets more comfortable the more that the game is on the line. the Texas Tech win, the UConn win. I mean, they've been tested. So I think Florida going up against Auburn, I think these two teams know each other well, playing in the same conference. They face each other several times now. I think that's going to be a close, tight battle, and we'll see what Florida has to offer. But to me, those are the two most interesting storylines for these games. How about you? Or should we kick it over to Carey? Let you think.
Let me think on this one.
Carey.
Well, for me, it is the Duke-Houston game. Like you said, I think Duke is they're a juggernaut. They got players in every facet and every level that you want. And Cooper Flagg being the best player in college basketball,
yeah.
I think that is must-see TV. So I think the championship game is going to be Duke.
Say it. Don't you disappoint, Gator. Florida. No.
I think it might be Auburn. Depending on how healthy Brahmas is, I think it might be Auburn.
Come on.
I like
Go
Duke.
Tiger.
Go Tiger. Not that Tiger.
Yeah, that's
not the other Tiger. Yeah.
So to Carey's point, and to kind of piggyback off of what you said with bringing Auburn to the final instead of Florida, I think for me, the most intriguing aspect of this is, can the SEC win the whole thing? We've talked about the SEC all year long. They've been the best conference, right? They've had the best team. Auburn was, even though they lost in the semifinal of the SEC tournament, they were the number one seed out of all of the teams in this tournament. So can Auburn be the team that, and there's a lot of people, including yourself, that have Florida. I just picked them to go to the final. Can Auburn really be the number one seed? Or on the other side, will Duke be who a lot of people think is the best team in the country, even though they didn't get the number one overall seed? Can they basically be the Duke that we know, despite not having Coach K coaching the team?
Yeah.
And so if Duke wins, the conversation is, it's been SEC, SEC, SEC. Well, it's like, nah, brother, we're still Duke, man.
Right.
Like, you can talk all you want about college basketball shifting, but the ACC still controls college basketball.
At least, right, from a title standpoint.
From a title standpoint.
The SEC team will finish second. You can't spell second without SEC.
Oh, come on, man.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think that either.
Absolutely right.
Wow. All right, prediction time.
But it reminds me of the Big Ten, though. Like, our Big Ten college football thing, like SEC football, right? Who's won the past two college football national championships?
Ohio State, and it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. It's great. Hey, to be a Michigan Wolverine. Unless you no call, no show.
Yeah.
All right, Marsh.
Fast lane those guys.
Prediction. Well, I had Tennessee winning the championship, and so they are out.
They are out.
Anthony?
Yes.
You've been right 2 years in a row. And I gotta, something's up with you. So I'm going to take Florida over Duke in the national championship, 76. And I think it's going to be a good game. 76-73.
Wow. Okay, so Marsh has got Florida and Duke in the title game. He's already handed out his championship pick, too.
Give me Duke and Auburn. And I'm going to go, let's go 72-63. Won't be that close.
Who wins?
Duke.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you don't have my Gators in there, then I don't care what the score is. I think Duke wins against Houston, and obviously I got Florida over Auburn, and I think both games are close. I think both games are tight. I think the reverse happens. We expect a rock fight in Houston and Duke. I actually think that goes over the total of 136.5, and I think Florida-Auburn winds up being lower scoring and tight. And that goes under the 159.5. Speaking of which, why don't we have Bet the Board next on 101 ESPN?
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-500-5000.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
Red Sox claim a wicked offensive showdown. I'm Bradford Bruns, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. This afternoon at Fenway Park, Boston ruined the Cardinals' road opener for 2025. 13-9 was the final, as both clubs combined for 29 hits. 13 of those came from Ollie Marmol's team, but starter Eric Fetty couldn't last beyond 3 innings. The veteran righty walking 4, allowing 6 earned runs before yielding to Steven Matz, who surrendered 2 across 53 pitches. Ivan Herrera and Brendan Donovan did homer. Game 2 occurs tomorrow afternoon with Andre Palante battling Richard Fitz. Tomorrow night, the Blues hosting Colorado downtown. They will do so without Dylan Holloway. He is suddenly week to week after sustaining a lower body injury in yesterday's win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. This Sports Center update was brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
You're in the fast lane, broadcasting live from E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
Fast Lane at 101 ESPN. Time to bet the board.
It's Friday, fellas.
It's Friday then. Saturday, Sunday. What? All right, Marshy.
Yes.
What do we got for latest standing?
All right, I have 3 points.
Man, you're rolling.
You ain't lost
Anthony,
it, huh?
I have not. Knock on marble.
Nope.
So you're three, you know.
No, Granite. This is
It's
Granite.
EB Granite Studios.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's not
That's
the
right.
EB Marble.
No.
EB Granite, baby.
I'm sure they have marble, but it's EB Granite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 3 points. You two are tied at 2 points, and Jamie has 1 point.
Jamie got on the board.
Got off the schneid.
Got off the schneid. All right, Marshy. Lead us.
Yes, I'm going to go with Blue. So last night I took Blues and Penguins over 5.5 for the total. I'm going to go with the
call.
Blues and Avalanche tomorrow over 5.5 for the total.
Okay. So we all hit last night.
We all hit last night.
So you could have parlayed that, listener.
You could have.
Not that we've done it in a while, but you could have.
Yeah.
If you were clairvoyant.
Yeah, let's see. I wonder when the last time that
when
we
was the last time we all
all
went?
hit.
And was the last time we go 4-0 or 0-4?
Well, 0-4, we could find that pretty easily.
You had to scroll up a little bit for our last 0-4.
The last
0-4.
0-4. Let's see here. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Last time we went 0-4 was March 11th.
All right, nice job, guys.
The last time we went 4-0 was February 3rd.
Ouch.
That's been a while.
That's been a while, yeah.
Wow.
Well,
We stink.
in fairness,
one of us wasn't
picking, so we were trying to sabotage him. So
for about a full month.
Yeah,
so that checks out.
that kind of jacks up our record there, our team record, so to speak. Carey, do you have a pick?
Oh, yeah. Give me the Golden State Warriors for +1 going into tomorrow night. +1, -110.
Boy, they're starting to look like the Golden State Warriors of yore.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what that means.
Of yore or of old?
No.
Sure.
The golden, not the old, not old Golden State Warriors. They look like the old Golden State Warriors when they were beat people. Butts.
They're all old players.
No,
now?
not old gold but the old.
Oh, okay.
Golden State Warriors.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Since they traded for Jimmy Butler, they have been playing extremely well. That element, he gives them something that he gives them toughness. He gives them defensive ability to guard multiple positions, and him and Draymond playing defense the way that they do, you lack that. I love Andrew Wiggins. I just don't think he was he's not Jimmy Butler.
So they look like the Baron Davis Golden State Warriors.
After Baron Davis. So after
okay.
Monte Ellis and Baron Davis, you think mid 20 tens.
Okay, like when they went to the finals, like every single year, played the same team every single year.
Yep, that one.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was a good team.
It was really good.
Give me the Florida Gators minus 145 on the money line.
Oh, you're really doubling down on this, huh? Wow.
Did you not hear what Marsh said?
I did. Did you not see Auburn play?
Did you not hear what Marsh said?
Marsh said Auburn was the best team. They got the number 1 overall seed, and they were the best team in the SEC.
I see again that you have select hearing, Carey Davis.
Have we not realized that?
Yeah. Marsh said.
It works best for me.
I don't know if that's what, maybe. You know what? Maybe it does.
For me.
Yeah. Not for anybody else.
What are we talking about here?
Marsh said, and I quote, Anthony, you have gotten the last 2 national champions correct.
Yeah.
In fairness.
And you predicted the Florida Gators this year. So, just saying.
We got a text from 314. Boy, you guys clearly don't know anything.
Thank you.
About time periods.
No, probably not. No, we'll give you that. Well, actually, I feel like I know a lot about the the Roman times.
Yeah, what about the Proterozoic time period?
Oh, the Jurassic time period?
I don't think
the Cretaceous.
Crustacean. Is it crustacean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anything about what he's
Cretaceous.
Is it
crustacean? Crustacean.
Is an
animal.
Cretaceous.
Bradford knows.
Of course.
Jurassic.
Yeah, that was a movie. Documentary, actually. There's 6 of them.
Cretaceous. Triassic.
Try what?
Triassic.
Why would you try that?
I'm just saying it's different periods.
Oh.
Now, which days of the week do you do your Triassic workouts?
Cretaceous? Is that what it is, Bradford? Cretaceous period?
He said, yeah.
Absolutely it is. Come on, Stalter.
There we go. Cretaceous period.
Come on, Anthony.
I was just working out in my head.
Don't doubt yourself. You might not know where India is, but you know.
I know where India is.
You do now.
Sad part is, I would have pointed to India right away on a map. There's India.
That was funny.
Part of Asia, right there. You asked me in the Gauntlet. I've got India right between Ohio and Pennsylvania.
So we all
Ohio and Illinois. Other side.
Our listeners know that we're not that smart.
Yeah. They tell us.
They do. They like to remind us all the time.
Regularly.
And that's fine because they might be onto something.
Yeah.
So with that being said, were dinosaurs in the Triassic period? So what's the difference between Triassic and Jurassic? Like, why is it not called Triassic Park? Is it depending on which dinosaurs were around?
Most of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were actually, I believe, from the Cretaceous period. But they like the sound better of Jurassic Park.
What?
Wow.
It's easier to say, obviously, than Cretaceous Park.
Triassic Park isn't hard.
No.
But I don't know.
I gotcha.
Go ahead. What do you got, Mark?
Jurassic period was a time of great plant and animal diversity, including the rise of dinosaurs.
The rise of dinosaurs.
So Jurassic Park, in a sense, they are creating the dinosaurs once again, and they are now rising to it. So if we want to be, critiques here, we want to be critical of the new Jurassic World, maybe instead of Jurassic Park, they could have called it Triassic Park. But
I still think it sounds. I don't think it hits the same.
Yeah, because of the it's all about branding.
Sure. What's your favorite dinosaur?
My favorite
of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah. Carey, same question.
It used to be
like
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
As a young
OG.
lad.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Then you got the raptor. Was it the Velociraptor?
The Velociraptor.
Like when those showed up on the scene, I was like, whoa!
They're actually those dinosaurs are they're more Utah raptors. Believe it or not. They were actually found in Utah.
I thought they were from Toronto.
The Velociraptor. The Utah Raptors from Utah. The raptor, the Velociraptor, actually really small, almost the size of a turkey.
Oh, that's probably where they come from, right?
I don't know about that. I can't. Not that turkey. An actual turkey.
Those are creepy. Those are creepy.
Kind of weird.
Sure. Yeah.
Why does it spell that way?
It's just a spelling.
Yeah.
It's silent. The P is silent.
Yep. The weirdest spelling of a word.
My favorite is definitely the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, those are, they can swim.
They can swim. Anytime I hear the
yeah, from Jurassic 3.
Yeah, it just reminds me of the Spinosaurus.
That makes sense.
Could you imagine standing there and all of a sudden you hear that and you turn around and that thing's just standing there right there?
That's going to be tough.
And you're like, it's not even running at you. It's just staring right at you.
It's just looking right at you.
And all of a sudden you see a broken down facility and I don't know how, but there's a hole in the gate that you just happen to run by and find. To get away from this Spinosaurus, and then you run into the old facility, and you think, I'm in the clear.
But you're not.
You're not, actually. There's actually other dinosaurs in there waiting to kill you.
And for those velociraptors, they're smart.
They're so smart, they know that you stole their eggs and put them in a lunchbox.
I mean, it's all right there in the documentary.
It is.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. I think we've bought ourselves enough time. Let's wrap up the show next on 101 ESPN.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. The Blues play on ESPN.
Shoots, he scores!
Tomorrow, Blues and Avalanche. Pre-game at 5, puck drop at 6.
The wait is over!
Your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN.
Bedroom? Not anymore. Paramount Men's Medical.
Live from the E&B Granite Studios at the Centene Community Ice Center. This is the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. E&B Granite, Bernie Federko's only choice for granite countertops, cabinets, and flooring.
Missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or your Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Of course, all the podcasts brought to you by Shape Door Company. All right, boys, what did we learn today? CD, let's start off with you.
I learned that it might be too late for us to actually become hockey
That's
players.
right. That was mine.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry that
together.
we learned that bad stuff here. Go ahead.
Yeah, just that we may be past the age of learning how to skate. You should do that when you're 2 or 3.
Yeah.
From what I've been told, we're about 40,
Oh, yeah.
2 years too late.
Apparently, you got to start at 3, so something like that, right, Marsh? About 3 years old?
Yep.
Did you...
We're way behind.
CD, did you also feel, and again, that was my what you learned too, is that CD and I are... we're way past being able to become hockey players.
In the NHL.
In the NHL.
Or ever. Anywhere.
Probably anywhere. Yeah. Carey, did you also feel that Chris Pronger set us up?
Do tell.
Well, he was talking about how, he likes to say, hey, just start.
Yeah, he did.
Just start.
It doesn't matter how old you are.
Exactly.
That's what he said. You can start at any age. Just start.
Yeah.
And you were like, great.
Awesome.
We can get started on our NHL careers.
Yeah.
He said, no.
No,
not
you're way too late for
Can't
that.
do that.
Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable. And I like Chris Pronger,
Yeah,
but
he's a
boy,
good guy.
dream killer.
Yeah.
Marsh, what'd you learn?
I learned that Jamie's pregame routine involves drinking.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even, yeah. Well,
yeah. For hockey.
Yeah.
But at this stage, there's a reason why they call it beer league.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call on that.
Beer league hockey.
Marsh, I don't know if you want to go. Do you want to go to the stars or do you want to do.
Yeah, let's get to our 3 stars of the day.
All right.
It's time for the Fastlane's 3 Stars of the Day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to Anthony's pronunciation and enunciation.
On anything?
Specifically the puck charity.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the
second
because we're
shift.
here at the second shift puck cancer.
There
Yes.
you go.
Of course. So, yes, that's our 3rd star of the day. Your pronunciation, enunciation. Our 2nd star of the day, of course, goes out to dinosaurs. All of them. We love them. Even if they are genetically engineered.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
They're still people.
Absolutely
I mean,
not,
dinosaurs.
But, yeah.
They still have feelings.
They do. They absolutely do.
Sure they did.
Yeah.
They still do.
Our 1st star of the day obviously goes out to the whole reason why we're here, and it is the second shift puck charity cancer. Or, I'm sorry, puck cancer. We don't want to puck charity at all.
No,
puck
we
cancer.
don't. You're right.
We love charity.
You're right. Puck cancer.
Puck cancer.
Yeah, special thanks to Chris Pronger, even though he crushed Carey and I's dreams. Chris was awesome today, as always. Kevin Shattenkirk, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet. Kevin Shattenkirk gave us a great interview. And Scottie Upshall, also here. He was fantastic as well. Thank you to Bradford Bruns back in the studio, keeping us going. And